Hello, everybody. How we doing out there? First things first. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC, gunmetal crystal age technology screens, and soon our FLE-VT technology. That's the abbreviation for the company. But anyway, yeah, God is good. God is good. God is good. I'm trying to get 2024. I'm trying to get closer to God. I'm trying to get closer, much, much closer. I want to get into reading my Bible more because I kind of slacked off on that. Sometimes we get lazy, we forget, we stop reading the Bible. Don't do that. That's not good. You got to keep yourself always in tune with the Lord. So I constantly I try to read my Bible more and more every day. So I'm trying to do 2024 differently. I'm trying to do things differently. I'm trying to keep myself closer with the Lord. Cut down on this bragging nonsense I've been doing on the channel. Yeah, I know. I noticed it. I noticed it. When I get into that hyped up part of me, that's not good because I'm reading the Bible. I read Psalms from the Bible when I need to remind myself to keep myself together. God don't like a bragger. He don't like a bragger. Don't like people who boast. He don't like it. And I got to remind myself at the end of the day, hey, keep it humble. Keep it humble 100%. Sometimes the Lord got to knock you down a couple of pegs for you to learn this. But, at least I'd rather have the Lord put me through something and chastise me than forget that I don't exist. I praise Him when He chastises me because that means He has not forgotten me. You know, how you have your kids and you scold them for doing things they shouldn't do because you want to make sure that they're going to go through life correctly. You care for them. That's the reason why you scold them, and that's the reason why God scolds us. But if God is not chastising me for the things that I do, then I'm scared because I know that He's turned His back on me, and God never turns your back on you. He's got your back 100%. Well, thanking our customers too, because thank you so much. We got orders that came in today for this site right here, our Crystal Witch site. I hope they enjoyed the updates that we're working on right now, working hard, getting the updates done so we can had the sites look a little bit more better. This one needed a massive overhaul. I came in back in here again late at night and started working again. Couldn't sleep, just excited about everything the Lord's been talking to me about and things we're going to be working on and projects we got coming up. So really excited about what God has planned for us. So I'm going to show you some of the things I did last night. And we still got some more tweaking to do, search engine and all that stuff. So I'm loving this cube right here. So I did a little with the put a little light blue around the carts, around the video players. We can't do a separate page for demo. Well, we are going to do one for demo. We're going to have that, but these can't go to the demos because the shorts don't exactly they don't go into YouTube videos that well. Pretty much the full videos will go, but the shorts don't go. Now, the Crystal Edge site had older programs in it, like the first programs that came with it, and the one I got from Black Series has more up-to-date programs in it. And this one did allow for you to be able to put shorts in it. Now, the newer one doesn't allow you to do it. So if I remove this, I'm not going to get them back. So don't want to do that. So leave them here. They're doing quite fine. And just basically just shrink the players a little bit so we can put a little more room in there. And then we can add the new stuff in there too also. So you can see they're much smaller and they have the little blue lines around them, the little blue tracing around, so everything matches nicely. And this is going to be our intro page right here explaining the FLE technology, the new Imperior. Imperior is the new product line for this page right here. So if you notice the two, I finally figured out what I did wrong on getting the shopping carts. So I pre-put the shopping carts in for the new products. This is going to be a 235.1 display. And this right here is one of the biggest outdoor displays on projection screen products. We claim it to be the biggest so far because I haven't seen anybody match any of the hundreds of demonstrations we have in there. And we got our picture slideshows at the bottom. And then coming soon, FLE Gold. This is new technology we're bringing out. And then some more of the 2024 technology. These are the videos already preset for this. I got it going, and I have to basically put designs, light blue designs around all of these. Get these finished. All these have to be done. preload all these in ahead of time. And then let me see. I think I got a video player down there somewhere that I was scooting down because I was working. I got to go and grab that and bring that. Let me see. Nope, that's something else. Where you come from? Where's the video player? Oh, no, no, no. That's the other site. Where's the other site? I'm thinking like, where? That's the other site. All right. So I'm working on 2 sites. A little bit back and forth. So then we add, as I told you before, we don't have to now focus too much on these other individuals that have been doing some really bad stuff to our company. We don't have to focus anymore. That right there, Lord let me know that that right there is going to come to a head. So we've already done everything we need to do. We got all the paperwork, everything's processed, everything's filed. Everything is there. Anything they do, any way they act up or carry on, it just goes into an open case. So it's an open case anyway. It just goes as additional evidence to convict them. So anything that comes up, we just redirect that to the detectives unit that's on the case. They just take all that now. So I'm not gonna bother with it. If somebody does something stupid, go like, oh, look at this. I'm not doing that. No. We just direct it to the detectives, and that's where it goes. That's where it goes from now on. I got too much to do, as you see, back and forth. I really don't have time. If they want to do some fake product review on my product, then hey, knock it out. Bottom line is, you're just going to have to prove it in court. If you can't prove it in court, you just get sued. That's all to it. Can't get any more cleaner than that. So we don't have time to engage that dumb nonsense. We already got everything taken care of, so we're good to go. I'm finishing up the rest of my lawsuits next week. I go back to City Hall, and finish filing the rest of the lawsuits that have to go out. Okay, so that too, on top of that, I got to get over to around, when you're getting ready, summertime is when I want to do a lot of these back and forth, showing these video demonstrations in different areas when we're renting out. So I got to figure out some kind of system that I can use, because I do not want to be borrowing Wi-Fi passwords. And, you know, every time, even though we rent the unit out, we got the option to use it, but I don't want to use it. I want to be dependent on my own stuff. So I'm thinking of a way how I can stream movies and stuff like that. Can't use the Fire Sticks, especially if we're outside. We're definitely not using those. And downloading everything to a thumb drive, that's a lot of stuff I have to download to the thumb drive. Again, no, I don't want to do that. So I thought the best option would be is to just buy another cell phone. I buy another cell phone, not anything fancy, just another cell phone, and just basically use a C charger to HDMI. And I can basically mirror anything I want off the phone, which is already basically, I'm getting 2 lines anyway. So I have a line for that phone, a line for the other one. And I'm just using that basically just to stream whatever I want from there, right onto the computer, right onto the projectors, which is fantastic. That way I don't have to tether it. When I tether it, it comes up choppy, depending on how good my internet's going to be out there and where I'm going to be at. So basically the best thing to do is just get another phone, get another line attached to it, tether that, basically connect that to a C to charger right to the projector, and then we can advertise anywhere we want. That's the best way to do it. Instead of carrying around some giant laptop, or laptops are small enough, I just don't want to carry around a laptop. I don't want to carry around a tablet. The phone would be perfect. It's small, something I can fit in my pocket, and I can take it where I want. When I want, I can just connect it up, run the YouTube videos, and boom, right there, and I'm done. Easy way. So that pretty much cuts down on that. Buying a camera, I used to have a couple of Nikon cameras and Canon cameras, the big boy cameras. They're heavy, they're bulky, equipment, the lenses, all that stuff. I had a couple of real good ones, and then I found out that I had a Panasonic one, was really good too. I found out that the cell phones do exactly the same thing. Like literally, they do exactly the same thing. So instead of carrying around all that equipment, I carry my cell phone, which I carry this one when I do my recordings. The other phone is just used for calls, and I got to get me another cell phone for basically just for tethering. And so, not tethering, but so I can hook up the video feed. It's funny, walk around with 2 cell phones, and people think at the end of the day, oh, that must be for your other girlfriend. Like, no, I actually use this phone right here for doing all my recordings. The other phone I have, it's a good phone, but the recording on it, the camera, it's that Samsung. It's a good phone. It's the A23, but it's not as good as the one I have over here, which is, I like the Galaxy, the Galaxy 10 Plus, that's what it is. People say, oh, you got to upgrade. No, I like this phone. I do. I'm not a phone junkie. At the end of the day, I don't go out and buy phones for the sake of just having a brand new phone. It's just not me. If it works, and it works for me, I'm still going to use it. I'm still going to use it regardless. So I don't change my phones. I like them. If I like it, it fits, I like it. Chances are I'm probably going to buy the same phone all over again. But anyway, let me see. We got this done right here. On top of that, no more page, so that's gone because I was able to go in and put in a new Navi menu, and that basically eliminated the more page. So we have everything up top right here for you to see. So you don't have to go into the more page to see our customer demos. This is the home page. Let's go over to the marketplace. So this is our marketplace right here. I love our marketplace. And I'm glad people are enjoying the marketplace. How to do something different. So that's the marketplace. And then we see we just added the news. These are the new ones. There's the Imperial right there. Now, everything, like I said, no more page. No more. We got it all the fit on the navigators right there. Let's go to our contact page, which is, still has that spinning. I don't know what that is. But I got to get that out through code. I'm going to have to go and do some coding to get this out, whatever this is. But I ain't worried about it. Ain't the first time, ain't the last time we got to do that kind of work. Look at this right here. I love this right here. We're going to be having an 800 number or probably another Wix number. I haven't decided yet. All right, there's our contact. There's our shipping. Our shipping information right there. It goes farther than that. I'm just not going all the way down. This is the blacklist, and over here we got the special thanks. It's our beautiful music, thanking our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always blessing our technology. And for blessing us with the technology, to be able to make the technology, to thank the Lord for the blessing of the technology. Think about how amazing that is. All right, and then over here we have our customer demonstration page, which I love this page. There's lots of beautiful colors on it. I wanted something that was really crazy happy. I put the media players in last night. That's another thing I did last night. Added in all the media players to it. The one with the kids running through the sunshine, I want to actually put that someplace else. So this is for our videos and demonstrations and stuff we're going to do for on-site and so forth. And over here, what we're going to be changing on the blacklist. So we added these new flashing lights to the blacklist. All right. So this is what we were previously doing with knockoff projectors. But we're going to keep these on here. All these are going to stay because they need to stay there. Because again, reminder, it's not only that, even when these people are long gone and prosecuted, it's to remind other people, the people be warned that these things do happen, that people do make these scam paints at the end of the day that will rip you off. And these products are not tested. They don't have batch numbers, and these are things you should be asking for. Anytime you buy a screen paint, a batch numbers, I want to see some testing, something, you know what I mean? You don't want to find out your stuff is going to be matching house paint at the end of the day. You don't want that. And for people that are making products or getting into the field of it all, you don't want to do what these guys did. You want to stay far away from what they're doing. As a matter of fact, I have to go in here and I have to expand this just a little bit. The other fellow who basically had false accusations on his products, we have to put them on here so people know that basically be careful about people who do false advertisement of the product. So Danny Rogers, there's a section on here for you. After we done enough research, after watching your screen turn gray multiple times, do multiple demonstrations, fake range gain, all kinds of fake nonsense you've had on your site. All this is going to be, this section is going to be for you on the blacklist. Then after that, we're going to move on to basically going back to doing our knockoff projectors. So we're going to be doing some updating here. We already added a couple of cool features. These are the cool features coming up. There we go. There's the new cool features we just added in. No flashing lights on it. This is the blacklist. The blacklist educates people at the end of the day. Be careful about when you buy screen paint products. Make sure they are tested. This is very important. I can't express how important testing is. Testing is extremely important when it comes to a screen paint product. They have to be tested. Because you got people that'll push these products out as fast as they can try to make them with no testing whatsoever, and these screens will fail horribly. And then on top of that, they'll lie behind them. I've seen them lie right behind it. They're making these awful mistakes and still continue to try to sell you something that they know darn well they should not have on the market at all, period. Products have to be tested. I don't even know why anyone would even try to launch a product if it's not properly tested. I'd be scared to death that it may fail on camera. But apparently it's just not that's not the problem with some people. I guess they feel they fail on camera. Would just come in and lie and just cover it up with something else. All right, I'm gonna go in here and I'm going to grab, let me see. I gotta grab the happy customers. So got a little updating to do in here. And let me see. Might as well. I gotta be out and about today anyway. I can't sit here all day and do updates. I literally gotta get out. I gotta drop money in the bank and I gotta go down and go pick up a few odds and ends. I've been dying for a small pizza. So I pick me up a small pizza today. And a few things for taco and stuff like that. And on top of that, I'm still going back and forth and looking at the other house. I got 2 houses I'm actually looking at. So, you know, God's working everything out. Wonderful blessings from God. Wonderful blessings. Oh, that matches perfectly. That matches perfectly. It kind of gives a nice spin there. So, hope everybody out there is having a great day. It's always a great day when you start the day off with Jesus. That's a great day. I couldn't imagine going out that door, knowing what's out there watching me when I leave out that door, what's watching me every day. God's watching over me, but I know something out there is watching me too. I couldn't imagine leaving out the door without God's armor. I couldn't imagine. I had many of misfortunes that could have gone extremely bad if it wasn't for the fact that I had the Lord watching over me, and opportunities that came my way extremely easy because of God. You know, God's people has favoritism. Did you know that? Yep, we have favoritism. We have favoritism. Things will go our way because we have favoritism. No matter, it's like the cat scenario. You know, you will land on your feet every single time. No matter how rough the situation may be, no matter how dark the tunnel may be, you will always land on your feet. I think people don't like to hear me talk about the Lord when I talk about, you know, on my channel here, but, you know, I'm going to preach and talk about God, you know, because again, you know, I was in a really rough situation in my life where, you know, so many things could have gone wrong on so many levels. And the reason why I'm still here to be able to talk like this is because of my Lord and Savior. That's the reason why I'm here. The only people that are going to be bothered by that are people that choose this world. They want to be in this world. They want to be a part of this world. That's what they want. I'm good. I mean, you can serve the Lord, but you don't have to be in this world. What do we got going on here? I'm trying to figure out what color would match this nicely. Thinking this would probably go a little better here. I think that'd be better there. That last one would do much better. So, you know, I'm going to talk about the Lord. What? Why wouldn't I? You know, I should talk about him more. I need to talk about him more. Much, much more. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the technology I have today. That's the reason why I have what I have today. It's because of him. So of course I'm going to talk about him. And just like I said, I've turned down, because, oh, why not a millionaire? I've turned down $1 million contracts for my technology. I've walked away from contracts worth millions of dollars. Because again, if God ain't in it, I ain't about it. That's what it comes down to. You can keep your money. I'm good. Don't want it, don't need it. That's the problem. That's why people get into these problems, because they're too busy chasing that money. They would chase that money no matter what. Who's giving it to them? They chase that money. I'm not chasing your money. You can't buy me at the end of the day. Your money is no good. What you have, your status quo, who you know, what you know, I don't care. Couldn't care less. At the end of the day, that does not impress me. Driving fancy cars, that don't impress me. None of that stuff impresses me. A man that serves the Lord, loves the Lord, seeks the Lord, is about the Lord, that's a man who impresses me. That's a man that sees a bigger picture in life. That's a man that basically I will sign a contract with and I will work with. But anything else, no, I don't want it. Because I've already seen it. I've seen it already. I've had the experience in the field, and I've seen the corruption of greed. And I want no part of it. That's why I want to keep it, try to keep the business. I know it seems like it's going to grow into a massive, but I'm trying to keep it where it's small. That's where I want it. I don't want a massive corporation. I don't want all that. Don't need it. It's all about keeping it simple. That's what it's about, people. You don't need all that stuff. You know, accumulate a lot of things that you can't take with you. What's the point? After a while, it becomes a burden. I got stuff sitting in storage right now. I don't even touch and don't even go near. It's a burden to me. It just sits in there. Every time I move, I got to pay the money to move it from one section to the next. Just sits in storage again. Move it from one thing to the next. That's it. Give it to somebody else, it becomes their burden. They all they do is just shift it from one place to the next. I think I'm gonna go with the sky, the blue skies on this one. On this one right here for these different here. That's why when I was sitting there and the other individual would send me pictures of fancy foods and stuff like that, dude, I went to school to become a chef. I spent a month intern in Paris. I've had all that stuff already. I've been to 5-star and 6-star, 7-star restaurants. I've done that already. That ain't nothing at the end of the day. What you just showed me, I literally can make. I ain't paying for that. I got 5 chefs in my family. You gotta be kidding me. I've been there and done that. That's nothing new to me. You can't, a Christian man look at that and just start laughing at the end of the day. What's that supposed to be? What's that supposed to do to me at the end of the day? Nothing. My Lord can provide all that for me and much, much more. I don't need all that. Whatever is provided for me, whatever I need, my God will make it so. If it's not meant for me to have, then it's not meant for me to have. That's why I don't get all upset. If a contract doesn't work out, do you think I get upset over it? No. Why would I? My Lord has always provided for me to have bread on my table. Always. So I don't get upset about stuff like that. Maybe because my Lord saw something that I didn't see. You got to think of it that way. Maybe because it didn't work out, because God saw something that you couldn't see that later on in time would cost you a lot of pain and misery. And sometimes the Lord will give you exactly what you wanted so you can find out with something that you never wanted to begin with. And life lessons. I remember one of the things I learned that you got to be careful about who you chat with online. Because people think that demons at the end of the day are just pertain to basically just moving about the earth here and there. You know, they can take over bodies too. You know, they have the ability for possessing bodies. And on top of that, they can basically host anybody they want if the Lord allows it. That's if the Lord allows it. If it's not allowed, then they can't go there. They know their restrictions, what they can't do. Don't think they think they almighty, all powerful. No, they can't. They can only go where they are allowed to go to. That's it. They are restricted in certain where they're allowed to go to. But you'd be surprised. when you're chatting with people online that you very well could be talking to a demon and never even know it. So this is way back, way back. This is when, if you remember Web TV, when they had their own chat, you can go and plug this device in and you can actually have internet on your TV. It was a big hit. I forgot when. But anyway, I was in there and I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing and carrying on and acting up and being a fool. And I got to have this conversation with this fellow. I forgot what his name, but his name was something in Greek, or it was something weird he had. The guy was like, oh, it's something in Greek. He was explaining it to me. So we're having this conversation back and forth, and I start messing with him. And the guy doesn't get angry, he just comes back with these really interesting, like, comments. They're weird comments. And I'm thinking, oh, you're just definitely a certified nutcase at the end of the day. And he made a comment. He said, you're lucky I can't morph because I'll come see you tonight. And I'm like, yeah, right. What are you supposed to be, a Power Ranger? So I'm laughing. I'm sending memes on the Power Rangers and everything. So about 2 nights later, my dogs are going off. I mean, they're going like barking like crazy. And usually when they bark like that, that means somebody is outside the house messing around. And when I went to the kitchen window, the window wouldn't open. The window always opens. That window wouldn't open for Jack. And the Lord told me, don't open the window. And as I looked out the window, I saw it. It looked like somebody had took Spider-Man and dipped him in all black. And the way his body was moving back and forth, he was like moving in a kind of mysterious slow motion. But it was kind of like he was trying to get into the house, but he couldn't get into the house. Because any place I move into, I take the anointed oil and I go about the house and I pray. Any place I walk into, I always pray over any place I walk into, because you never know what was there or what was passing through that place. So I put the cross up and every doorway, everywhere in that place, and I pray the Lord cover the house in the blood. And that's what that thing was trying to do, was trying to get in. So I was having a conversation with a demon and didn't know it. And when I looked out that window, I saw it. It didn't look at me, back at me. It was just trying to look into the house, and the way his body was moving back and forth in slow motion, I knew what it was. Got down on my knees and started praying, and it was going. Dog stopped barking. It was quiet as can be. Got to be careful on who you speak to and how you speak to online, because you very well could be talking to something that is not human. You know, the world is much bigger than you think. Much bigger than you think. There are things in this world that when you become a Christian, you will understand and you will see things in a different way. It is not the world that you think, that you look at every single day that seems like it's, no, there are other things here besides us that walk about. People sit there and say, well, there's ghosts. Not really. There's no ghost. I thought I saw ghosts that day when I saw those kids lined up in that weird way along the side, but they weren't ghosts at the end of the day. It says right there what happens to the body when you die. The spirit goes back to God, and the body goes back to the primal dust in which it came. So your body goes back to the earth, where it came from, and your spirit goes back to God. So if that's the case, who is dwelling in the body walking around your house that you think is Aunt Sarah or Uncle Jake? Yeah, that's a demon. It says right there that Satan can take the form of an angel. Isn't that to come down hideous and, at the end of the day, it would scare the daylights out of you if he did. You know, got to get close to you first, lock you in, and then he'll probably show you his true form, which you'd never want to see that, because you would completely go mad. Your mind couldn't accept it. You would literally lose your mind and go mad. But anyway, and God would never allow you to be to see what that thing is at the end of the day. I mean, it's just, ugh. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, people say, oh, I see my Aunt Rachel. She was in the house the other day. You know, she smiled at me and walked away. And I'm like, no. You might want to get a preacher in there and start praying, because that's not your Aunt Rachel. Because there is no anybody else walking around. That's it. When you die, your spirit goes back to the maker, the one who basically gave it to you. He gave you life. And your body, who came from the dust, as in Adam and Eve, you were born from primal dust. You go back to the earth. That's why the body disintegrates into dust. Yep. So whatever's walking around in there, it ain't what you think it is. So you need to go get yourself a preacher, get in there and pray it out of there. Get it out of there. I had a friend of mine tell me that somebody came to visit her when it rained. I'm like, nope, we ain't walking up in that place. And it's not going to happen. In a million years, I would never walk up in that house. Nope, ain't going to happen. I said, no, I'm sorry, sir, to bust your bubble, but that ain't your family member at the end of the day. That's somebody in there taking the form of your family member walking around your house. You need to pray and get the Lord on that. See, people don't get it. At the end of the day, you're caught up in this world. You're caught up in the entertainment and the technology and everything in this world. You're being blindsided. You don't realize that. You don't understand that in the next world, which, you know, when you enter the next world, hopefully you are saved, that you have to understand that there's a bigger picture behind it all. Behind all this, what's going on right now is a much, much, much bigger picture. As we sit here and play on this earth, there are two people, well, actually, God and the devil, that are sitting there looking at the earth, and it's a massive chess game going on. And you go about your everyday life, and there are people that come down that warn you that this is happening. These are people you see on the corner. Some of these people could be angels, you never know. And they're on the corner preaching to you about something that's coming, and you ignore it because you're so caught up in your everyday life. Heck, I did it many, many times. I've taken the same God Love You tracks, crumbled them up, and threw them in the trash. I've done the same thing. I ignored it until I got a chance to see some of the things when I got saved that were actually lurking around me that I didn't know were lurking around me, and it scared the living crap out of me. Good God, that's what's around me. That's what's walking around me. That's literally around me all the time. Yeah, it freaks you out when you see one of them, what they look like. So you get occupied. Say the Lord blesses you. The Lord blesses you to become rich. You become rich. But the devil comes and entices you with things that, again, will cause you to slip and fall. He'll bring the wrong kind of people into your life. He'll bring these kind of people that bring into your life that will corrupt you and get you drunk and get you high on drugs and all kinds of stuff to pull you farther away from God, as far away as possible. And when he gets you far enough away, this is where he starts working on you. Some people come back and some people don't. Some people never come back. And then once he has you and you're his, then you become a part of his army, the army of Armageddon, which means the beginning, that this is the last war of all wars. Now, I tell people at the end of the day, when people sit there and go, oh, that's not real, that's so and so and so. Let me explain something to you. You ever heard the term, there's no atheist in the foxhole? Even an atheist in a time of war is sitting in a foxhole with his bullets passing by, back and forth. At that particular point, realize that this is not the time to not believe in God. Because I have no idea where I'm going if I get killed. When I walk out of this foxhole, anything could happen to me. I might not come back. At least I want to know in the next world, I'm going to be okay. You can have a person that is a gangster, a hardened criminal, a murderer at the end of the day. But when he's sitting on death row and it's his time to go, he doesn't know what's waiting for him. And that's what scares people the most, is the unknown. And he will have a preacher go in there and pray for him to forgive him of his sins. So hopefully he would have a chance of whatever's waiting for him on the other side that he could pass through. But you don't want to be in a situation where you don't get that opportunity. Because you have to understand, once you don't, and this is the scary part, people, and it was to scare me every single day when I thought about it, even when I was out there sinning and doing dumb things, that once you pass, that is it. I hate to put a bummer on your day, but you got to think about it. This is how it is. That once you pass over, that is it. You do not come back. And if you are not saved, you will burn in the lake of fire for eternity. No end, ever. See, the problem with us being humans, at the end of the day, we have an expiration date. We know sooner or later we go. But this is forever. You will never, ever stop, ever. So imagine you burning your hand. Imagine that times a million all over your entire body. Yep. So I ain't trying to scare you into being saved. I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you what will happen. There's consequences for all things. All things have consequences. People say sometimes that God is not a revengeful God. God does not. We're living on hell right now. Oh, man. You ever read Revelations? I think you might be wrong. Go and read Revelations and you will realize that exactly this is not hell. This is nowhere near close to it. Not even a smidgen close to it at all, period. Nope. Could be sad. You're very sadly mistaken. Will we ever have nuclear war? No. We're never going to have nuclear war. Not ever. We could have, any given time, we could have a nuclear war. We could have had one a long time ago. A Cuban Missile Crisis could have triggered off one. We could have easily had nuclear war. It's never going to happen. And the reason why it's never going to happen, people sit there and say, oh, but no. Man does not control the earth. God controls the earth. You got to understand that. Man does not make the decision. God makes the final decision. It's God's world. He built it. He designed it. He decides who destroys it. And he's the one who's going to destroy it. So guess what? You don't get that opportunity. That's why nuclear war will never, ever happen. The talk of nuclear war, the threat of nuclear war, building of nuclear weapons, but it will never, ever happen because this world belongs to God. You cannot destroy what is not yours. And since you don't own your own soul, since you don't own your own will, well, you own your will, but you don't own the ability to destroy this world, you cannot do this. You don't have that power. That's why I don't believe in nuclear war. God has everything set for when he comes back on how things are going to be done. And that's how it's going to be done. So man can't destroy it. The world was already destroyed the first time, destroyed with Noah and the ark. I told you, if you look at the biblical maps, you will see that there was more land at one point on the earth than there was. Now there's more water. So the earth was flooded the first time by water. Now the second time it's going to be by fire. So you read Revelations and you be like, gee whiz, yeah. When I was blessed to read the Bible, and I say it's a blessing to read the Bible, when I became a Christian, I wanted to know so much about God. I want to know everything about God, everything about God. When you first start, you're just hungry all the time, more knowledge. So when I read the Bible, some of the words in the Bible are really, really, really hard to basically pronounce. And that's really hard. So I was into family radio fellowship, and they were doing the Bible fellowship reading. And right around the time when I started, I prayed and asked the Lord to give me understanding of the book. And right around the time when I started reading it, that's when the first chapter of Genesis started. So not only did I get a chance to read the Bible, and God gave me a vision of how I saw things when I read the Bible. You see these visions of just what went on. But not only the words that I couldn't pronounce, but family radio came on and I could listen to that scripture, and it would read the same scripture and talk about the same thing that I just read. So not only did I get vision and the knowledge of the Bible, but also listen to family radio, and allowed me to actually understand what I couldn't understand when it came from reading those big words they have in there. Words are pretty interesting. Yep. The Bible was such... Well, I saw the vision in the Bible so crystal clear when it came to Revelation, I was scared to death. I did not want to see what was read in Revelations, but the Lord allowed me to be able to see it and maintain it without basically being scared to death. I was scared. I didn't want to go down that road, but I didn't want to see those things at the end of the day. So, yeah. So... benefits of being a Christian, life is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Wish I'd have done this sooner. Wish I would have done this sooner. You know, I was diagnosed with a rare lung disease. Don't even have it anymore. It's gone. I haven't used an inhaler, going on now 2 years. Haven't touched an inhaler in 2 years. And if you've been in Allentown, Allentown has hills. It's kind of like being in San Francisco, but Allentown has some freaking hills down here waiting for you. When I first came down here, learning how to breathe and go up these hills, my chest would hurt a little bit, and I would never touch the inhalers. Like Lord told me, you didn't need them, and I didn't need them. Now I walk up and down all over Allentown with no problem whatsoever, walk in the cold. I haven't bought even the winter coat yet. Usually they say you have to have something warm on, so cold air hits your chest, you can't breathe and all that stuff. No, I'm wearing a hoodie the entire time. I take a lot of lifts back and forth, but when I'm downtown walking around, I'll be a little cold sometimes, but never have any problems at all, breathing at all, period. Nope, went back to working out, went back to training. Yeah, like it never even happened. I went back to eating cheese, and couldn't have cheese, and I could have milk and all that stuff like that because it would build up mucus, and sorry if you're eating something, but it would build up mucus, and it would make it hard for me to be able to breathe. And now I can eat whatever the freak I want, but now I really don't bother with milk anymore, and I don't really. I like the plant-based foods. Ooh, I love the plant-based foods so much. I got used to eating it for so long, and I freaking love it. I don't really like to eat real meat. I wish that somebody out there would open up, if there's one already out, but you need to bring one down here, please. Open up a restaurant that cooks steaks and hot dogs and all that stuff, but it's all plant-based. That would be fantastic. I would freaking love it. I would freaking love it. Nobody can't tell the difference. I had a friend of mine saying, you can't tell the difference. Like, if I made you a hamburger, it'd be a vegan hamburger, plant-based hamburger with plant-based cheese, you couldn't tell the difference. Really couldn't. Now, if it was when I was coming up, when I was a kid, you ever have you ever had sugar-free? Excuse me, sugar-free sodas? And when you were around in the 70s, good God, that stuff was nasty. That was the equivalent of gasoline. You were literally drinking straight gasoline. That stuff was so disgusting. Sugar-free was very, very disgusting. Now it's much better. Now you couldn't tell the difference. But if you grew up in the era that I grew up in, you drunk sugar-free soda, it was the equivalent of gasoline. You could have popped the lid on your freaking car. You could have poured that in and went right over to Mexico or anywhere you wanted to go, across whatever you wanted to go. It would run your car. It was that disgusting. It was trifling. It was like a mixture of peroxide and sugar. That's literally what it tasted like. It was disgusting. Now, sugar-free, you can't tell the difference one from the other. I mean, it got a little, some of it got a little bit of taste to it, aftertaste, but not too bad. But back then, oh, God, yeah, Sweet and Low. I remember Sweet and Low. Advertiser for Sweet and Low. I think I remember the best toy in a cereal box was the Captain Crunch submarine. If you had one of those, Captain Crunch had these submarines you would fill with baking soda, and they would just basically stay at mid-level in a bottle of water. It was cool to watch. They had the cool colors. They would have it in blue, yellow, and red, and I don't know if they had it in orange. And in green, I think it was in green. It's the main colors they had. That was the shot. This the prize in the bottom of a cereal box. Now, how come they don't do that anymore? Maybe like cheap little toys, but they were like the world for kids at the end of the day. And you would have to pick everybody would have that time when they would get something out of the cereal box because you had to make it even Steven for everybody. But yeah, I remember that, having a prize at the bottom of the cereal, your box of cereal. I'll tell you something crazier than that. Wonder Bread used to give out free baseball cards. Remember that? If anyone remembers that, Wonder Bread gave you baseball cards. And those baseball cards now are worth money. Yep, people say, no, that's crazy. No, Wonder Bread had free baseball cards with the bread. That's when you got, well, this is when food actually, well, when my mom was coming up, she was a country girl, so food was still different to her. They grew everything and they hunt for everything. And then she got used to eating that store processed food, which back then was fantastic for me, but today it's like, ugh, I can't stand freaking canned foods and it tastes disgusting. Back then it was different. When you got milk, milk came in a glass bottle. It was much better than plastic. I know they sit there and say that plastic's better. Nope, plastic is not better. Glass is much better. There's a big difference for having milk. Oh shoot, I should have changed these. I'm overstepping my boundaries here. This is supposed to be a different color. Milk is, if you had milk in a glass bottle, it's a big difference. A huge difference. Huge difference. Everything came in glass. And they start coming up with plastic. People are concerned about that because of the chemicals in plastic. Yep. Remember them days? But yeah, Wonder Bread had baseball cards. And it's funny because all those baseball cards I had from back in the day in comic books, I set them suckers on fire. Like we'd blow them up with fireworks and all that stuff. Evel Knievel, Batman. All those toys from back in the day you would have. I didn't keep any of my toys, which I wish I would have kept all of my toys. I was not born, but I went through the whole freaking 80s era. All those sneakers that you sneakerheads love to collect, we had all those. We had all those sneakers at our disposal, and they were much cheaper than what you guys are paying for now. Way cheaper. I saw somebody tell me they paid $400 for a pair of Air Jordans. You know how much Air Jordans cost when I was coming up? $100. That was it, and that was considered to be a lot of money. Those same Air Jordans that you paid $400 for, I paid about $100. The most I've ever paid for a pair of sneakers were Air Force Nikes. That was the most I paid for, and they were like $150. The Reebok pumps, Patrick Ewing editions, I had them. They were about $120, $130. Now y'all pay $400 for a pair of sneakers. You lost your freaking mind at the end of the day. There's no way in the world I'm paying $400 for some sneakers. I don't care. That's crazy. I would never even buy my kid a pair of $400 pair of sneakers. You'd have to work for them. Ain't no way in the world I'm giving you that for free. You want those sneakers? You're going to meet me halfway. There's no way in the world I'm paying for those things. Because at least at the end of the day, you will learn to respect them better, and you had to earn them. That's the only way we want to do that. Meet me halfway. And at that, I still don't even want to pay for it. $400 for a pair of sneakers. No. I don't even want halfway. I'm paying out of 100. I'm paying 25% of that. You're gonna pay the rest like 75%. Because again, I ain't paying for that. You want them, the whole thing. You want them quicker? Get a job. Get a job. No. That's what allowance is. Allowance teaches kids to work and earn money. They were like, nope. Like, okay, one of my exes, she spoiled her kids. Oh, man, I came from a family. We didn't get spoiled at the end of the day. You talk back at the end of the day, you get your head knocked off. Ain't none of that nonsense. I couldn't believe that when you're in her bedroom, the kids open up doors and just walk right into the bedroom and jump on the bed. Oh, no. My dad was Marine. I would have been thrown through a window somewhere. Nope. When I was coming up, you never, ever walked in that room. Not ever. You didn't walk in that room to get jack out of it. You didn't even look in that room when you walked past it. That room was forbidden. You never walked in that room. If my parents were in the bed laying down and they called my name, I can't open up that door. I can't open up that door until they give me permission to open up that door. And then when that door opens up, I still can't walk into the room until I get permission to enter in the room. You will not be jumping on the bed. You will go to the foot of the bed and they will speak to you. And when they get done speaking to you, you would turn around, walk out, close that door quietly, and walk down the stairs and not make a sound. Get your head knocked off. That's the way I was grew up. That's why I grew up. People say, oh, that's child abuse. No, that's why your kids are out of control. That's why they do what they want to do and do this and do that. No respect for other people at the end of the day, because you don't teach them no respect. They don't fear you. I know when I could ever talk back to my parents. My parents would have killed me. That was a death sentence right there. That is an automatic death sentence to talk back to my mother and father. You ain't play that nonsense at all. Weren't having it. But I see my now the other generation of my family, the grandkids that have kids, they're a little bit more light on it, and their kids are something else. You can't have them around me. It won't work at the end of the day because, yeah, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some very serious problems because I'm doing one of them gonna come in here and jump over and do what they want to do and talk back to me at the end of the day. Ooh, we're not having that because I'm gonna take it out on you. I can't take it on the kid because that's not mine. But you're old enough, I'm gonna take it out on you. Family or not, we're not having that disrespect nonsense. But I seen them, they come over and they want to yell and scream it. I don't want to eat this. One of my exes, man, with her kids, boy, they were spoils on or what. She would go and do $300 worth of food shopping, put all this food in the refrigerator, and the girl was the most spoiled of them all because they spoiled her to death. And she would come downstairs and say, "There's nothing to eat. I want to order some Chinese food." And the mother would get there about to order some Chinese food, and I hang up the phone like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, order some Chinese food." I said, "No, she's going to eat what's in the refrigerator. She went in the refrigerator. She's starved. That's all to it." Because that's the way I came up. My mother, at that, we weren't even allowed in the fridge. We weren't allowed in the fridge. We had plenty of food. We ate very well. My mother was a cook. She didn't buy anything from the store. Didn't buy none of that fast food processed mess. She didn't buy anything. Everything. We had home cooked meals. None of that microwave and all that. We never ate that stuff. We ate home cooked meals. Everything was made from scratch. You make biscuits and you make them from scratch, not self-rising flour. Everything from scratch. But yeah, my mother, whatever she cooked, whether it was llama beans, cabbage, or something you didn't like, you either ate it or you starved. That was it. You're not going in my refrigerator taking out no food and messing in my food at the end of the day. You got a job, you make any money at the end of the day, then guess what? You got no right to be in there. When you start making some money, you put some food in the refrigerator, you can go in the refrigerator and get what you want. That's how it works. You taking my money, my food out and making what you want at the end of the day, you lost your mind. And all that food in the refrigerator, she's going to sit there and go, "Oh, there's nothing to eat. I want some Chinese food." No, you hang the phone up. Don't do that. No. She'll eat whatever's in there. If she don't like it, then guess what? She goes starve. That's it. There ain't nothing harsh about that. No, siree, ain't nothing harsh about that at all, period. That's why you see them YouTube videos, they think it's cute for kids to be cursing at their parents and stuff like that. Oh, wait till they turn 16. And they start carrying on and acting up like that. And you can't control them. No, them jokers need to be controlled from the door. My dad wish he would have an attitude like that. Talk back to his wife like that, he'd beat the stuffing out of you. If you're grown enough to run your mouth, you're grown enough to get smacked down like a man. That's how he saw it. Run your mouth and see what happens. Talk back to them, see what happens. Roll your eyes and see what happens. Matter of fact, my mother was raised that children were meant to be seen, not heard. If the adults were having a conversation, walk in the middle of that conversation and disrupt and see what happens. So you get your behind worn out. That's what they need to bring back. And you got freaking kids, freaking 8, 9, and 10 years old, twerking and doing all this dumb nonsense, screaming and yelling. This one female I was dating, I watched her daughter get mad because she couldn't get a box of cereal. Pretty white dress. She dropped right down the middle of the floor and started screaming and yelling and spinning all over the floor. She was possessed by the devil, screaming like, I want, I want, I want. And instead of the mother, basically, because you can't hit them now, because that's basically, you can't do that. That's humane at the end of the day. You can't hit them. But, you know, they usually say, wait till we get home. That's when you know you're going to get messed up. And instead of her doing that, she picks her up and she bribes her. She says, well, just, you know, if you just calm down, when we come out tomorrow, I'll get you 2 boxes instead of 1. Okay. I can see this is not going to work at the end of the day, because that's not what I'm cut from at the end of the day. If anything, I'm cutting sanctions at the end of the day. You ain't getting jack, and you ain't getting jack after that. For just basically cutting up and carrying on. I'm only going to get your behind worn out for basically acting a fool at the supermarket, but you're not getting no dessert for the next month. Well, we don't do that, ma'am. I remember one time, I got a lot of trouble when I was a kid. My mother, basically, at one time I got in some trouble, and she was like, okay, that's it. You're done. And I said, man, I'm thinking that she's going to send me away to military school or something. No. She put me on punishment for 2 solid months. The whole summer vacation, I stayed in the house. And mind you, we didn't have the luxury like you guys have it today, where you had walk into a kid's room, they got freaking TV and freaking game systems and everything. You got better stuff you have in there than we got downstairs. No, when I was coming up, it was dresser, bed, closet. That was it. We didn't have all that stuff. The entertainment was downstairs. So yeah, 1 month. You know, it's funny when you're on punishment, all the stuff comes up that you never get a chance to do when you're not on punishment. Not on punishment, nothing happens. When you're on punishment, everything happens. They want the wildwood. I never went to wildwood. I didn't go. My mother stuck to it. My mother usually would break down and let me go. But nope, she didn't. No, she didn't. To this day, I never knew what happened when they went to wildwood. I didn't experience it because I never went. Because I missed out on it because I did something stupid. But yep, the whole summer. No dessert. We had dessert every night as kids. My mother always made sure, remember that the sweet tooth, always made sure we had dessert. Always thought the kids should always have a treat after they get done eating. And I remember no dessert for a whole freaking 2 months. Nothing. They went skating. They did all this stuff. They went to amusement parks, everything. Nope, nothing. After that, no more trouble. I ain't get no more trouble after that. Nope. I ain't going through that again. Whole summer vacation, all the kids outside running and playing. And this is where kids weren't in the house. Kids went out, ran and played, did this and did that, and watched all my friends come to the window. Like, yeah, we're going to do this today, and we're doing this today, and so. They were Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts. I missed all of that for 2 months because I wanted to do dumb stuff. And after that, when I got off punishment, never again. Nope. Even started getting good grades. Gotta punish your kid. That's the only way they're going to learn. That's the only way they're going to learn. That's what you got to do. My brother got the room set up. He got a kill switch in there. So the kill switch is outside behind the panel with a key in it. So his kids got always anything they want. They got game systems, everything in that room. Everyone's hooked up. But when they basically start failing in grades and stuff, he goes in there and hits the kill switch and knocks out all the power. And the only thing he turns on is the lights. That's it. So they can operate the lights, but everything else doesn't run. Put a kill switch in there. Knocked all this stuff out. I said, you gonna move all this stuff out of here and put it in the garage? I said, nah, I got a solution for all that nonsense. He's an electrician. He slid back the panel and click, everything went doof. Cut everything off. So the only thing that works is light, that's it. None of the outlets, none of them run. He rewired the entire room. That was pretty cool though. Put a kill switch in there, knocked all this stuff out. Went there, turned everything off, everything got picked up the surges and stuff, and nothing burns out the equipment at all. Shut the whole room down. Only thing that works in there is the overhead light. That's it. Nothing else works in there. You want to charge your phone, you better go outside the room and charge it. Nothing works in there. Yeah, you got to teach them. Because not, they'll run crazy. They'll do what they want to do. If they want to talk back to you when they're young, they're going to talk back to you when they're older. And you're going to have a problem on your hands. When I was coming up, well, I was locked up when I was 18. So when I was coming up in my family, you had to be out of the house by 18. Job by 16, out by 18. That was the rule. Yep. Job by job. But now today, I don't know, man. Today, boy. Ooh, man. No, but you can still do it. There are more jobs today now than there was in the 80s and the 90s and so forth, even in after COVID. COVID, when the jobs started popping up, I hate to say it, but it's true because everybody started ordering online. You can get a job anywhere basically for stores, restaurants. Everybody's short of staff. Everybody's short of staff. Every time I turn around, I'm seeing help, wanted, help, wanted, help, wanted, help, wanted, help, wanted. So there's jobs out there galore. There is. You get a job working at Amazon. You get a job working just about anywhere you want. You get a job working at. At one point, when COVID was a little bit rampant and they couldn't get school teachers in there, they were hiring people that didn't even have the educational field for school teachers. They just needed people in there because people kept getting sick. You can't go nowhere right now and not get hired. They need people desperate. I have Amazon drivers who come up to me and say, "Hey," matter of fact, my neighbor's an Amazon driver. He said, "They say, hey, you want a job?" And I was like, "No, I got my own company. I'm good." He was like, "Yeah, because you know you might need a job. Let me know," because they overworked. People are ordering like crazy. They're still ordering like crazy. They didn't slow down. People are ordering more packages and they're buying more stuff online. Drivers are overworked. Before, I remember to get into the post office, you had to go through a what do you call it? Like a freaking a maze to get through. You had to know somebody to get into the post office to really get in. Now, oh heck no, you can get in easy. They need people desperately. They're literally begging, like, please come here and work for us because we're overworked and it's killing us. Yeah, they're overworked. And think about the Christmas season now, the holiday season, how insane it is now. I order a ton of stuff. I order every single day. I got packages coming in now on top of packages I already ordered. Because I barely go to stores now. And people go less and less to stores. People really don't want to tolerate the stores anymore. You see what Black Friday looked like? Black Friday was a ghost town. Cyber Monday took off like crazy. People really don't want to be bothered with stores too much. That's basically pretty much it. They'd rather just buy online. It's just much more convenient. I mean, you got to get in the car, you got to wait the gas, you got to drive all the way down there, you know what I mean? You got to deal with a whole lot of crazy nonsense at the end of the day. People now ransacking, robbing stores and active shooters and all that crap. Like, man, I'm not subjecting myself to that. I can be home and just go, doot, 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 done. Ship to the house and I'm done. That's it. Finish. That's it. So now you got more and more people buying. Since COVID, the crave went through the roof and more and more people are buying. Guess what? People need help. And you need help with these warehouses, so it's not hard to get a job. Matter of fact, in this decade now, you can literally quit a job and get a job the next day. You don't even need a job fair anymore. Literally just walk in there, pretty much most of these places will hire you. But I know people who have quit a job and got a job in the same day. I don't even ask anymore the application, like, where'd you graduate from? So-and-so. So you know what? Don't even care. Can you be here at so-and-so? Can you work these hours? You can? Okay, thank you. You're hired. Thank you. That's it. They need workers. So there's no excuse by somebody saying, well, there's no jobs out there. Pfft, yeah, please. I'm a UPS driver came to my door saying, anybody want a job? You know what I mean? Because we need drivers like desperately because they're working crazy hours. They got to work crazy hours for the people that are not there. And then people get sick and they call out and whatever. And it's short of staff. It's crazy. They need people to come in for work. So you can get jobs like crazy. But before, it used to be at one point that it was impossible to get jobs. The housing market, not the housing market, but the job fair and all that. They had job fairs and stuff. And you had to make sure you updated all your resumes and stuff. You ain't got to freaking update no resume anymore. They don't even care. They just want you in there to work because they need people in there to work. If I'm running a company and I got a staff of 20, I need 20 people to run that building. So the only way we're going to be to run that building correctly is we need those 20 people in there. And 10 of them call out sick, or 5 get sick, or 4 get sick, whatever happens. One of the guys could get sick. You're going to have 2 guys designed, certified to operate a machine. 1 or 2 of them get sick. Who the freak am I getting there to run that machine? So at the end of the day, I got to hire somebody. I got to get somebody in there to help us out. Or say 5 or 6 people go down, and my staff of 20. And they're out and they're sick. I need somebody temporary in there to fill that spot, because if not, without the 6 people in there, my company will not run correctly. So I got to find somebody. I really don't have time to sit down. We can do a basic interview, this, that, and the other, do a background check on you, so forth and so forth and so forth. Can you be here at this certain amount of time? You can. Okay, hire. That's it. You just show up and freaking work. That's it. That's all I need you to do. It ain't like I got to check all your potentials, the last person you work from. I ain't got time for that. I need people in there right now to help me get this done, because if not, I'll suffer through this. If I can't get orders out the door, this hits me at the end of the day. This hurts me at the end of the day. So I need to get somebody in there to get this done. I ain't got time. You got to do background checks and all that stuff. Other than that, I couldn't care less about the last job you worked at. Can you be here at a certain amount of time? You can't. All right, you're hired. I'll see you tomorrow morning. That's it. That's a relief for me at the end of the day. Like, oh, all right, we finally got somebody in there now. I'm glad. I ain't got time to be, whether you're credentialed, we'll train you. I don't care. Some places will pay you. They'll train you. They just need you in there. Because it's just, the demand is too high, way too high. All right, we got all this done right here. Got all this colored in right there. Oh, that's all color coded to match everything in there, so that's good. Yeah, that's what it come down to now. Everywhere you go, tell me you don't see help wanted signs everywhere. I went to Home Depot, help wanted sign. I went across the street, they had this place where they do chicken sandwiches and all this stuff like that. Help wanted sign out there. Help wanted signs everywhere. You need people. You can literally quit your job and get another job the same day. Fast food restaurants, they're hiring like crazy. You go to McDonald's, there's lines wrapped around the corner. Yep. And I think that's where the shortest job is coming in at, because think about it. If you find out that you can get a job the next day, you don't really have to keep that job. So if I got 10 people working for me and 5 people quit because they can get a job someplace else that they may like and may not like my job, guess what? I'm short 5 people. So that means I got to hire somebody to get them in that spot. But then there's so many opportunities to get jobs, then, really, I can be picky. I don't know if I really want to work there or not. Tell you the truth. But you mean when we get free pizza? Okay, that sounds great. That sounds great. Okay, that sounds like great. Oh, but wait, they give you free sushi over there? They pay a little bit more? Okay, yeah, you at the mercy of the person who, it used to be before that you were at mercy at the person who basically was hiring you. Now it's the other way around. There's just so many jobs out there. If I was doing a job, if I was going back to work, I want to go back in the culinary arts. I don't want to go back in the cooking, no, because that's a job. If you love it, you love it, but you don't never. For me, I didn't have a life. I opened and closed. I worked 6 days a week. No, I can't go back to that. I'm used to having my freedom. I'd take a truck driving job, or I would take pretty much any job involving me for driving. I'd take that, because at least I'm out in the open all the time on the road. I would love to do that. If I'm driving UPS, I'm just always out. I just don't want to be confined to a building. Unless it's my choice. Ain't that right, Mr. Taco? Round! What are you watching? Oh, you're watching the dog. Round! Are we done over here, Taco? We sitting here talking. I guess we got this is all finished. We got this color coded. So I'm like, man, you supposed to be working. Yeah, whatever. I'm getting back to it. Let me save this. We're done here. Yep. I still don't understand why United States postal trucks don't have air conditioning. What is the deal with that? Why don't they put air conditioning? The Postal Service makes billions of dollars. You mean to tell me y'all can't redo all your vehicles so they have air conditioning with them? Because who wants to use that? You're in freaking almost 120 degrees and you got this dinky 3-inch fan. That's all you have. And then the day you got to drive with the door open. I remember they used to come down and pick up packages. I know a few of them. And man, these people you got to walk in all that heat, number one, to drop off the packages. And then get into a truck that has no air conditioning whatsoever. I don't get that. Why do they continue to do that? They have the money to get all new trucks. Why? Trucks are so old. I think the steering wheel, is on the opposite side? It's not even on the other side. How do you go to the drive-thru with that? But anyway, yeah, they need to have air conditioning in them. They need to. I had this one woman who came to the house. She would pick up packages, and she had respiratory issues. And I used to give her, she had her inhalers on her sometimes, but I have bags of cough drops, which I stopped using those too. But cough drops, they kind of, what's the word for it? Sometimes when you can't breathe, sometimes it could be in your head. It could be nothing wrong with you at all, period. It could be in your head. Not saying that you can't. All of it's in your head. Some of it, basically, it cannot be in the breathe causes some kind of psychological and anxiety problems along the way. I know I went through it for years. But anyway, sometimes it wouldn't be me not being able to breathe. It's the thought of me thinking that I'm not able to breathe. And sometimes to get around those little anxiety episodes, I would take cough drops, because cough drops would allow me to feel like I'm breathing in more air, but I'm actually not. And it would actually get rid of that anxiety from the door. And that's why I was always carry cough drops on me, because most of the time I never had really had to take the inhaler, because I really wasn't having that issue. It's just the thought of having and feeling I'm not getting enough air would trigger off that anxiety, and this would actually work. And it did, it worked. So, but I don't take them anymore. I don't need them. But yeah, I just give her a few cough drops and it would help her out. She'd be okay. Mr. T, she was a nice person too. I met a couple of male people that were really nice. One guy was an absolute jerk. He was definitely a jerk. Let me see. Okay, all this is done. We got to go over to the blacklist and update. Because, oh yeah, we got to update the blacklist. Oh no, forgot we can't go there to Navi. We got to go over here to the control board. What time we got? Yeah, almost time to leave out. Taco, you about to get the bubble bag. The bubble bag. His bubble bag got a heating system in it. I modded the daylights out of his bubble bag. His bubble bag is banging. So I saw the ones they had one that was big enough. So when I put him in it, he can move around a little bit. But yeah, he's got freaking, he's got the, I put in the battery pack, and I'm actually running the, he has EL wire in there, so lights like, Taco lights glow. He does. When I had neon lights, the blue lights, he slept near the blue lights. He loves those blue lights. He's got little fans in it, the fan that cool his system down in there, little fans I've installed in. Ain't you got them in there right there, your little fans in there? Yeah, he got little fans in there to keep him nice and cool. And he got another unit that hooks up, but basically so he can run a little heating pad in there to keep him nice and warm. But yep, Taco. We're gonna mod another one. We're gonna mod another bubble bag. This one's gonna have his name that lights up in the back. It's gonna say Taco. Ain't that right, Taco? The Taco has his glow-in-the-dark tie. So when we go out for the night, we chill out with family. We got the bubble bag, got the glow-in-the-dark tie, got the little neon outside so his tie glows. Yeah! Ain't that right? Because all this summer we're gonna be out and about. They were like, every time I show up with my cat Taco, like, when you gonna bring him past? We'll bring him by so you can meet Taco. Ain't that right, Taco? What you hunting? Oh, squirrel on the roof again, huh? That's what you hunting, squirrel on the roof. Oh man. All right, let me see. We were supposed to be on the blacklist. This is where we're supposed to be at. Did we click there? There we go. There we go. Yep, I hear him. I just heard him. He's up on the roof. He is up on the roof. Cat a hoot. He's up on the roof. So we'll scroll up there. All right. I used to hate my mom. My mom's a serious Christian. I used to hate when she talked about God. I used to hate it. Why everything you gotta talk about gotta be about God? Everything gotta be about God. God's not about everything. Everything doesn't belong to God. Oh man, I was so sadly mistaken when I was running my mouth that day. I couldn't have been more mistaken. Everything we gotta talk about gotta be about God every single day. We gotta listen to Christian music every single day. All you talk about is God, 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 God. You imagine that. God sat there and said, okay, you don't want to believe in me? You can get off my earth. And I walk outside and get hit by a truck. Yeah. And he was like, he just listened to all that. So you know what? And you'll get it together one day. You'll get it together. I couldn't stand when my mother would talk about the Lord. Always talking about God. Why are you always talking about the Lord? Why? Alright. What do we ask for this? Video change. Oh, does this have the doesn't have the border? Oh, is this the old one? Oh, this is the old one. These are the old ones. On here, on this page. The other page must be, oh yeah, because I loaded the new page on it. That's the update page. These are the older pages. Let me see. But this is how you do it over here. It's different. Then you got to go to customization. Ah, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's actually crazy. It's crazy. Well, wait a minute. What if I don't want that size? What if I don't want that size at all? Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna change this to what I want to. This one's 6. I want 6. I want 5. Ah, can it get any brighter red than that? Seriously? That ain't gonna work for me. No, I need a brighter red than that. Can I make my own color? You got anything with the color option? Let me see. There we go. That's better. I'll take that. Nope. Didn't request that. This is the older one, older program. Let me see. Can I just go off and just repeat that? Oh, that's hot. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That definitely works. That makes it a lot easier. I mean, that repeats. Why didn't they have this one on the other side? That would have been so much easier. You put the size in and the color. Instead of me doing it over and over and over again, that makes it so much easier. Should have kept the older program. That was just much more sufficient. And I hate it when I go to Dunkin' Donuts up here because we only have, and I lie to you not, I'm not joking with you, from Allentown, from this whole strip of Allentown from one into the next, we got one Dunkin' Donuts. Told you it's a small area. One Dunkin' Donuts. Now, if you go out to Bethlehem or Whitehall, maybe a little farther out there, they may have a couple out there, but no. But this whole strip of Allentown from one section, I'm all the way up on 5th. I've been to 5th, I've been to 7th, I've been 15, I've been all the way down to 4th, I've been down to the 2nd, all the way up in them areas. There's no Dunkin' Donuts up there. You have one Dunkin' Donuts. So mind you the selection. Let's think about the selection. There's a good selection in there, which I'm quite shocked. But then again, I'm trying to think about how many people like Dunkin' Donuts at the end of the day, because it's not exactly crowded in there all the time. Like, it's not like crowded packed in there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, remember Krispy Kreme came out and people were like sitting around the corner at the end of the day? It ain't like that. So, but when I go in there, I can tell what people favor the most. They don't favor the Bear Claw. Does anybody eat the Bear Claw? Because, quite frankly, those and the plain donuts are the only ones you find in the box. That's the, because the good ones are the homers. I call them the homers. Those are the ones with the sprinkles on, the pink one with the sprinkles. I call those the homers. The chocolate eclairs, custards. My favorite ones are the vanilla creams. Those are my favorite with the powder. But every time I eat them, I just got finished going to a cocaine party because it's like powder all over my face and everything. It's just all over me. It's like eating funnel cake. It's all over you. But anyway, yeah. I find very few people like the jellies. Ugh. My sister loves the jellies. I can't stand jelly donuts. I think that they're gross. But to each your own. At the end of the day, some people like the jelly, some people don't. And they got the blueberry. They got the white with the sprinkles, the pink with the sprinkles, the chocolate with the sprinkles. But yeah, mostly would be the vanilla cream. I was a big fan of the Boston cream, but not anymore now. I ate too many of them. I turned myself off on them. But yeah, I'm gonna pop in there today. I hope they got a good selection, man. Cause you take a gamble when you go in there, like, okay, they got good donuts today. You go in there like, Well, you're gonna make some fresh ones. You gotta come back when the fresh ones come through. But we got one. We got a subway, but the subway's up on this end. There's no subway on the other end. So I'm closer where the subway is, unfortunately. Because that subway, they jacked my food up. I gotta go in. I'm hesitating what exactly what I'm gonna get. Like, I'm just gonna go get my pizza from my favorite spot. From there. I just wanna go get me a pizza from there. But other than that, man, yeah. I don't hey one and I thought about it, we got one Dunkin' Donuts for the whole freaking area. But there's always Dunkin' Donuts in there. So I'm having me thinking like, do people eat that many donuts out here? They like Dunkin' Donuts? Or they just make them fast like that? We're gonna get that ad tech in there too. Definitely gonna have that ad tech in there. Because we can make them windows rain donuts. Can you imagine the windows in Dunkin' Donuts raining donuts? You don't have to have Dunkin' Donuts in your windows. You can literally make it rain donuts. Heck, you can have a mascot dancing in the window just like a donut. Have those speakers hooked up under the awning. That'd be hot. You'd be like, what? The ad tech is going to be a beast. It's going to be a beast. The ad tech is going to be a beast. All right, so might as well just announce it. So, price for a Spartan screen is $1,800. $1,800, 120 inches, $1,800 for the unit. But like I said, this is a legendary limited edition. We're only making 20 of those per month. Yeah, several people contact me like, when's the Spartan going to be available? You want a Spartan? You guys selling the Spartan? What's the Spartan going to look like? I want to see a Spartan. You'll get a chance to see the Spartan soon. But, as I said before, they're going to be $1,800. We're going to be shipping them worldwide free. And it's going to be a wallpaper surface. Yep, wallpaper surface. Anyway, my mind just went somewhere else for a minute. Yep, wallpaper surface, $1,800. And again, are people saying, but that's insane. It's a lot. Yeah, that technology can basically take on a diamond. All right, you can spend $5 grand for a screen, knock yourself out. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't mind. Go ahead, knock yourself on $5 grand. But at the end of the day, that technology will take out your product at the end of the day. You can pull any screen you want at the end of the day. I guarantee you take it out. I'm just telling you. So you spend $5,000 for a screen at the end of the day, and my customers will pay $1,800 for theirs. And their technology will be way, way beyond yours. So, again, yeah, you're only going to get half your projector. You can't even read an infinity contrast level at all, period. We read that. Yes, sirree, buddy. Yes, sirree. Now, the TV technology, you're going to make those a little bit more frequently. You can get those. But that Spartan, yeah, that screen right there, about $1,800. We're going to bring down the TV technology to around $1,500. When Spartan's going to be $1,800. Because the TV technology is supposed to be around 17, but we're going to make the Spartan around 18. And it does come with the helmet. And not a cheap helmet either. These helmets are like $95 if I bought them basically retail. But because I got them through a wholesale license, I can't tell you what I'm paying for them. But it's a wearable helmet. I'm getting myself one. My friend was like, let me know. Let me know. Come with a helmet. Come with a helmet. Let me know. What's that? Which one to change that? That's this one I'm used to seeing. Those must be old players. I don't know. Player from the Himalayas? Himalayas. Players from the Himalayas. I'm going to widen that a little bit. Yep. Now, like I said, we still got for those of you that may be a little too pricey, we have the FLE. Can't think of the name. It's sitting right there, staring me in the face. Alpha CINEMAX. Those are the screen paints, and we're going to have an acoustic screen, 150-inch acoustic screen, which I'm going to be using quite a lot because I'm going to be using that one due to the fact that It makes it easier for me to be able to take the screen down because it's completely portable. Easy for me to set up. So is the wallpaper. Wallpaper comes in a tube. I can just take that, put that in a tube, take the other screen at 150 inch, roll it up, put it in a bag. They wrinkle and crease free. And the stand that I'm actually getting for mine, it has some weight to it. It's like a stand I can light up, hook the screen up, hit the projector, boom, done. That's it. So those are the two screens I'm taking, because that other screen, that 150 inch, is so portable. It's not even funny how portable that thing is. So definitely that's gonna come in handy. All right. I tell you the dumb things you do when you're kids, but you think it's gonna be a good idea, and it turns out to be a horrible idea. Me and my friends found a refrigerator box one time, and we thought that we take this to a hill, we all get inside of it, and we would roll down the hill, and we would have this kind of zero gravity experience, like we'll be floating inside this box. That's what we pictured. It didn't turn out the way we thought we did. We all ended up coming out of the box with almost like concussions and hickeys, boy. That was a bad idea. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. Thought it was going to work. It's a bad idea. When your friends say, you go ahead and jump, you can make it. I did. And you find out you can't make it. Oh, man. I remember we were jumping roofs. In North Philadelphia, that was a thing, literally, jumping roofs. A bunch of your friends get together. When you think about it now, it's kind of jacked up. Because somebody jump on your roof, you're thinking, oh, what the freak? You'd be ready to kill somebody. When you're kids, you do dumb stuff. And it was this thing in North Philadelphia to jump roofs. Like before all that parkour stuff started, yeah. Kids in North Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure they was doing it in the Bronx, every place out, they would jump roofs for fun. So anyway, he was up there jumping roofs. With this guy called, oh man, my childhood friends, I'm not gonna mention because people do dumb stuff, they do dumb stuff. But anyway, they got us up there to jump in these roofs. And it wasn't really that bad. It looks like a long distance when you look at it, but when you actually jump over, it really isn't that far. But if you miss that, it's your butt at the end of the day. You are gonna die. And these are old houses back in the day that had the flat top roofs. So anyway, we're gonna jump in this roof. And my buddy Kevin takes a huge jump and hit this roof. And when he hit the roof, it was an abandoned house. He went right through the roof. And as you can look down, as you're sitting on the ledge, you can look right into the windows and you can see exactly where he landed at. You can hear the cursing and carrying on and the praying, but you hear when he went boom, you hear bop, 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 you hear the pipes and everything, and he just hit the ground like bam. He just watching like, yo, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And then plaster just came right down on top of him. He didn't die or anything. He just got busted. That's pretty bad. But it was freaking hilarious because everybody stopped. He almost fell over the side. Everybody stopped and he leaped and jumped. He went right through the freaking roof, crashed to the ceiling, hit the ground, and we watched all this from the window on the other end of the roof. And he was like, you okay? And like, I'm good. And the rest of the roof came down on top of him. It was funny as on the what. Came out, he was all ashy and white and everything, like somebody done dipped him in baby powder. He was in there crying about it. Oh man, it was a funny day. Remember the time Kevin went through the freaking roof? They're jumping roofs. You don't think about any of that stuff, when you're kids, how that inconveniences other people that were home watching TV and there's boom on a roof. That's you up there jumping on their freaking roof. But you don't think about that when you do dumb stuff. It's when you get older and then you realize how much of a jerk you was when you was a kid. Like the whole doorbell Dixie nonsense. Somebody ringing your doorbell and you got to get up and come over. Now we got security cameras. We don't got to worry about that. We just go on the camera like, yo, get the freak away from the house. But now before when there's kids, they ring the doorbell and run. And sometimes they will hit your house like 4 or 5 times. And you have to get up and check and get up and check and get up and check. And you thought that was funny as a kid. Then you get an adult, somebody does it to you, ready to snap. Ready to start World War III. But you don't remember that you did that nonsense when you were a kid. Like the flaming bag of crap. Everybody, if you haven't done that one, you haven't lived. I've done that one when I was a kid. I hung around with a lot of white boys. So I knew about a lot of crazy stuff. I had more fun. I hate to say it. I hung around my brothers and stuff in the day, but man, I'm telling you, they just did stuff in a different way. I learned how to freaking ice skate. I learned how to freaking jump out of a plane. I jumped out of a plane. Knowing a buddy of mine whose dad was a freaking flight instructor. What was the other thing they got me into doing? Whitewater rafting. I don't swim for jack. And they got me into a boat for whitewater rafting. I swim now. After going through that freaking experience, you will learn to swim after that. Now I'm going to take classes for this because the last thing I want to do is be pulled under an undertow and get my hip smashed on a freaking rock and then get hit by the freaking, oh yeah. But then hanging around with them, like I said, I've had a lot of fun with them. But anyway, the flaming bag of crap, Flavio. He's the guy who taught us this. He's like, you ever do it? We was by a horse stable. And they're like, you ever do a flaming bag of crap? And I was like, what's a flaming bag of crap? He said, this is where you soak some paper bags and kerosene and you fill it up with horse crap, you staple it, you set it on fire, you ring a doorbell and run. I said, so, okay, what's the point of that? The guy comes out, he stamps it out, he's got flaming crap on the bottom of his shoe, he walks it back in his house. And as a kid, this is hilarious. As an adult, this is a freaking nightmare. But you don't think about that because you're a kid at the time, so you're going to be a jerk. So anyway, we go to the horse stable. We scoop up all this horse crap, help the guy, convince the guy we want to clean out the stables. We clean the stables and everything out, but we take the horse crap with us. We got paid twice. We got a little money on the side, and we got horse crap. Because we don't want to be over there trespassing and get in trouble. Why ask so we can go help them clean up the stables a little bit and get free horse crap at the same time and money. So you got to be smart about it. So we come back with this horse crap, and we go to my house because my mother always had brown bags there because there was 10 of us in the house and she always packed her lunches. So I brought a bunch of bags out there. We went over to Dada's house because Dada's father was a mechanic. He worked on cars and stuff, and he always had some container of gasoline or something laying around to put into the cars to test them and all that stuff. So we found some kerosene out there. We soaked everything down. Everything was covered in kerosene. Got all the bags nice and soaked, got them nice and dry, scooped everything in there, and was going around people's houses like these flaming bags of crap and running off and thinking it was funny. And people were stomping this stuff out and tracking hot poop into their house. Yeah, it's funny at the time when you're a kid, but then when it happens to you as an adult, it is no longer funny anymore. Then you're ready to kill somebody at the end of the day because it happened to me. Somebody put a flaming bag of crap, and I didn't think about it and stomped it out and tracked it into the house. And I was triggered. Triggered as in going upstairs and getting Mr. Bang Bang to figure out who parent this kid belonged to so I can address the parent over this nonsense. And then when I was coming outside, I realized that I did this dumb nonsense when I was a kid. You got a chance to think about what you did. I did this one already. Like, wait a minute. Like, as I'm sitting there putting my, I know I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. When I was putting bullets in the shotgun, I was going to go to have a conversation with the parents over there about what their kids did to my front. I was going to have the parents come over and clean it up at gunpoint. I was triggered and thought about it. I was like, you did this dumb nonsense when you was a kid. How about them people at the end of the day? It's kind of karma getting you back. So it's kind of even Stevens when you think about it. And it wasn't even Stevens. I had to go through the bullcrap that I put other people through. So I just put everything up and cleaned up the mess, caught the kids later on, told them not to do it again, and they didn't do it again. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's karma. Oh, justice, karma, whatever you want to call it. We can't do this one. Oh, this is a slideshow. You can't do these. Yep. And people realize that when you do dumb stuff and things happen to you, this is life paying you back for being a jerk. This is what happens. Sometimes you get paid back in other ways, and sometimes you get paid back in those ways. I had a friend of mine who was a stick-up guy. He used to stick people up when he was young. I didn't know him. He was much older than me, so he would have been, I wouldn't have never known him. But anyway, he used to stick people up when he was a kid. And then what happened was, later on, as he got older, he did those little cars to pick people up and they take them where they want to go. Drivers, you would see them outside the supermarket sometimes. They would take you where you need to go. And one night he picked up this kid. Kid was a little off. And the guy pulled out a gun and tried to take his jewelry. And the gun went off and caught him in the leg. But he said he could have went in the glove compartment. The kid was running. He had a clear shot. He could have got him right in his back, but he didn't fire. And I said, why didn't you fire? He said, because I used to be a stick-up kid. It's karma. I got to pay for it. Better be me than somebody in my family. So I just take it as is. And that's where they left it at this. Kid didn't get arrested. Kid didn't get, they didn't beat the crap out of him because the guy was well connected. He had a lot of people in the neighborhood. You're in the hood, you got a lot of people, know a lot of people. This in the day, he was an old head, old school, old head, OG at the end of the day. Yeah, he knew people. He could have easily got that guy at the end of the day, but he didn't. He didn't do anything about it because he felt that he did the same nonsense when he was young, and this is life paying him back. Sooner or later it was coming. He just didn't know when, and he said, rather be me than be one of my family members. So he took it as that. And that's how you see it. That's how you see it. Some people may think that's stupid, but no, that's how it is. And you realize that you did dumb stuff, and now you got to pay for the dumb stuff. Did we get this? I'm not seeing it here on this one. I'm not seeing, like, I got to widen this up a little bit on here. What did you do? Yeah. He told me that. I was like, well, why didn't you fire? He had a clean shot. Guy was running. He had him right lined up. He had got him right in the back. He was like, nope. He said, that's my way of paying my got to pay my dues. Never saw the guy again, and that was the end of that. But now he walks with a little bit of a limp now. But it's payback. You ain't go around doing that kind of stuff and you don't pay for it. You gotta pay for everything. You pay for everything in life. Either you pay with the living or you pay with the dead. You will pay for it. That's what people think at the end of the day, I'm getting away. You don't get away with jack. If you didn't get away with the living, if you got away with the living, you won't get away with the dead. Either way, you gotta pay. There's no way out of it. There is something waiting for you on the other side when you get over there, and you will be there for a very long time until the time comes. It's purgatory. You know, when you go over, bottom line, there's a place where you go to. A waiting place. It's called purgatory. That's a very nice place to go to at all, period. But you will be there. You will be there until the time comes. Until the time comes for the sky to crack open, the seven seals to be broken, and for the Lord to come down and cast judgment, you will be in this spot. You're not going to be living in a paradise. I'm going to tell it just like it is. That's where you'll be at. I remember, and people can quote me and think I'm crazy in this, but I don't care. Because, you know, I'm speaking from my experience of being a Christian. I remember, I told you about the woman, Miss Flossie, who lived across the street, the old woman over there. Her parent, her family members let her die like that. And I remember that this woman convicted me for a very long time. She called me all kinds of nasty things. Even had tried to get people to kill me, all kinds of stuff. But nothing ever happened, of course. And her family hated me because she made up this lie that I did something that I never even did. And in her last days, I could have left her out there to freeze to death with those crackheads, and God knows what would have happened. But I stepped in and didn't allow them to do what they were going to do, and walked this woman into the house. And she didn't remember anything. I think she had dementia, where it was going, but she didn't remember nothing at all. She didn't even know who I was. So I called the police out there, and police came in, and I thought the police had helped her out, but, you know, they let her back in the house. I don't know why we let her back. I don't know why you take her to the hospital or something. I don't know why, but I guess it was her time to go. So she passed away. And as I was sitting in the house, I was watching some TV, and I felt something in the house. The dogs weren't barking or anything. I just felt something in the house, and it was her. It was her from wherever she was at, and wherever she was at was extremely frightening. Where she was at, it was just the way I could feel on what she was feeling. It was a very, very horrible place to be at. And I prayed and asked. She was asking for forgiveness, and I prayed and asked the Lord to forgive her. You know, I forgive her. You know, I just wanted her to leave, and she left. But that's where she was at. She was someplace really, really bad. Not a good place to be at. So, you know, I don't care at the end of the day if people sit there and go, oh, you're crazy, this, that, and the other. I don't care what you think at the end of the day. I know what I went through. And if people don't believe me, that's your opinion at the end of the day. That's you. But, you know, I'm going to say what I got to say. That's it. I know the naysayers will take this and go, oh, he's crazy. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Go ahead. You know, that doesn't bother me one bit whatsoever. As long as I'm speaking the truth and I'm talking about the Lord, I'm good. You can say whatever you got to say at the end of the day. Mind you, I explain to people at the end of the day, as you're sitting there cutting up and carrying on, guess who's talking through you? That ain't God talking through you. And you think that's you, that's not you talking through you. That's the devil talking through you. And the same one that's talking through you and taking his hands and moving them up and down, and your mouth is moving along with it like a puppet, and he's controlling you, is the same one that's watching you outside the door every single day. When you leave out the door, he is watching you. Because he can get close to you because you're farther away from God. That's why. Yep. So that's what you got at the end of the day. You want to be close to God. We can become close to God when something bad happens. We can do all the things that day against God, and in the day something really bad happens where we need him, then we start praying that we need him. You better hope that God is listening. Because he'll think that, look, all that time I talked to you, came to you and talked to you, you didn't want nothing to do with me at all whatsoever. Now you want me to come help you out? It's funny because we get like that as people, as humans. You do something nice for somebody every single day, this, that, and the other. So that person never thanks you, don't say nothing at all, period. Not a thing at all, period. You get an attitude over that and go, man, you got to be kidding me. You mean to tell me I shovel your walk every freaking winter? I shovel your walk. Not a thank you, not nothing at all whatsoever. Even when I'm shoveling the walk, you walk right past, on top of the shovel, get in the car and drive off and put more snow onto the sidewalk that I just shoveled off for you. That's how we show God respect. And every day you do this to me. Every day, every winter, every freaking winter. And after a while, you start getting fed up with it, and you get angry and get upset, and you can't tolerate no more. And the difference is, you're a human being at the end of the day, and the difference is that's a supreme being at the end of the day that can pretty much wipe your existence clean off the earth like you never even existed. But yet you're still here. Can you imagine going through all that every single winter with this person who just treats you like trash, even drops trash on the ground as you're sweeping their walk, as you're shoveling their walk, they treat you like that every single day. And then one day they come to you asking you for a favor, what your attitude would be like. I ain't doing jack for you no more. I'm done. You treat me like trash at the end of the day. I come out here and sweep your wall. I come out here and shovel your wall, and you treat me like trash. No thank you, no nothing at all, period. I don't want to be bothered with you anymore. Now imagine you being on an airplane and a freaking engine pops off and you're on your knees begging to God to help you. Think about that. You better pray that he sits there and goes, you know what? Just as one last time, I got your back. Because he could easily say, no. You mean to tell me all this time that you've been here on the earth and you have given me nothing at all whatsoever, don't go to church, you don't praise me, nothing at all whatsoever, and you want me to save your life because a wing popped off? Nah, we're good. We're done. We're done. And you just happen to wake up in the next world, not saved, God not knowing you, and the devil sitting there saying, hey, I know him. I know that guy right there. Me and him are best friends. We hung out all the time. Yeah, you don't want that. Nope. Let me see. That's a better way of putting it. When people still make jokes like, yeah, I jumped out of a plane and the parachute wouldn't open. I was in there making promises I knew it wasn't going to keep. You do know you just said that to God, right? Now, when people sit there and say, oh, but you consider yourself to be holier than others, no, that's a sin right there by itself. Christians who claim themselves to be holier than other people at the end of the day, oh, no. You've got to come down a couple stacks. You are not holier than anybody else. One of the things I could never understand when I went to church, I could never understand why they have those chairs in the back standing up higher than everybody else that's sitting down. Like, I can understand the preacher being on the pedestal and preaching. I can understand that part. But the chairs in the back, like, why do you have those in the back? Why are they there for? Because you're not better than me at the end of the day. You're the same as me. God sees all of us equally. You know, why are you sitting up on those seats over there? I always question that. Why? Because some of them sit up there and they get a little pride attached to them sitting in those seats. They feel like they're up higher than everyone else. Maybe a little pride. And pride is dangerous. Satan is full of pride. That's what got him thrown out of heaven. You really want to be sitting up there at the end of the day looking down at people? No, I don't like that. I don't like it at all, period. And yeah, people are saying, oh, Christians, no, no, no. Let me explain something to you about Christians. Christians, at the end of the day, are not supposed to do these things. They will, and again, their bodies are cursed. They have cursed bodies. They all have cursed bodies. They just basically will suffer more because they are sorry for what they have done, and they have to go through it over and over again. But a Christian who's not sorry and keeps doing the same thing over and over again, you are going to lose your salvation quick. And you're making the other one extremely happy that you're losing it. But no, you cannot go and do whatever the freak you want to do and then hide behind a Bible and say, oh, God's going to, no, 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 no. Do not tempt the Lord your God. Don't do that. Don't do it. You can easily be smacked on the side of the mouth very easy. I'm not talking about by me or anything. I'm talking about harm can come your way. Not enough to kill you, but it will come your way. It will give you a bit of a wake-up call. But yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that all, period. Christians that steal from the church, how are you doing? Why would you do this? Like literally, why would you do this? Are you crazy at the end of the day? Have you lost your freaking mind? I see people doing this mess. Have you lost your freaking mind at the end of the day? Do you know who you're stealing from? The fact that you still can breathe, you can wake up the next day, shows you how merciful God is at the end of the day. Do you know how crazy can you steal from God? You just stole from somebody who knows everything about you. He even knows the very hair, how many hairs that sit on the top of your head. And you sit there and steal from him? Have you lost your mind? That's insane. I've seen this one where this guy was talking about he had a $1 billion jet. $1 billion jet. Do you have any idea how many people you could have fed with $1 billion? And you spent it on a jet, and you have several of these units. And the reason why you need this jet, because it is faster for you to fly out and heal a man in another state, because you needed a jet. Jesus didn't have a jet. Jesus walked everywhere he went. And he was God. He didn't come down as a king. He didn't come down, he was a king, but he didn't come down and castles and servants and all that stuff. He didn't come down with none of that. He was born in a manger. So how in the world are you sitting there flying around in a jet, zipping all over the place? And at that, you bought a jet. You ain't got no fear at the end of the day that, hey, God can say, you know what? Fuel line doesn't work anymore. And boom, your jet just, and you're gone. You're that bold at the end of the day. They had this one preacher. I watched that trial on how much money this guy stole from the church. It was freaking unbelievable. Unbelievable on how much money he was literally ripping off the church. This guy was spending $5,000 for Louis Vuitton belts. $5,000 for a belt. He was spending $30,000 to $60,000 on suits. There was a charge for a $50,000 conversion of a Mercedes into a limousine, but they had to cut it in half. 50 grand. The house was worth something like $3 million. It was insane on how much money this guy was spending at the end of the day. And the reason why he said he had to spend the money for these expensive suits at $30K for these suits, he said because he's a big guy and he sweats through suits and he had to have a special kind of suit. So you can't go to, the woman was prosecuting him, so you can't go to freaking Walmart or JCPenney's, or just naming the stores at the time, that you can go to. You can't go to none of them places at all, get the same thing. He said, but it's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. No, it's just not. You got to come on stage wearing these expensive clothes at the end of the day. And people out there are giving you the last. And this is also, too, for people at the end of the day. You got to know better. You got to know the wolf in sheep's clothing. Because if they're asking for that kind of money at the end of the day, you don't give them that kind of money at the end of the day because you're going to reap what you sow at the end of the day. No preacher should ever be asking for that kind of money at the end of the day. God will provide everything they need. If it was meant for them to have, they will have it. If it's not, then guess what? They don't have it. That's how it works. But if they're going to tell you they need a jet, to spend that kind of money for a jet. And then the one guy who came up there, I'll never forget that. He was talking about how some guy had called him up and said that you're stealing from people. You're a millionaire. And the guy was like, you're wrong. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. I'm like, you gonna brag about that? And then come on stage and say, yeah, they can have my jet after the rapture comes. Oh, you really think you're going to heaven? You really do think 100% that you're going to heaven? No, no, no. You will be down here with your airplane burning. That's what's going to happen. You are not going to heaven. Had a nerve to sit there and tell the guy threaten him that, I can shut down your radio station and this, that, and another. So and so and so and so and so. Yo, my goodness, you give man a little bit of power, he go right through his head. You sound exactly like Pharaoh, the children of Israel. You sound just like that. How twisted the devil can twist somebody up. Twist them up that bad. Just stealing money from the church. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. How in the world do you live? How in the world do you get up and live knowing that people come to you and you basically rip them off? And the other ones that really get on my nerves too, the ones that did a fake healing. Oh my goodness. Wow. Just asking for it. If this was Old Testament, you'd be gone by now. Old Testament, they'd have gathered you up, your entire family, stuck you all in the pit, and would have stoned you to death and cut your entire bloodline off. That's what would have happened. Or God would have came down himself and taken you out. Because God did talk to man at that time. You are seriously bold. They do this thing where they touch people and the whole crowd falls over and a person gets up and they start walking around the hill and then they fake doing the Holy Ghost. Are you kidding me? Jumping up and down doing the dance. Oh my goodness, man. That's blasphemy, by the way. It's unforgivable sin. So people, when you do that nonsense, you joke around, that's blasphemy. That's what you're doing. That's a very, very serious sin. That's when you're making jokes of the Holy Ghost. It's unforgivable. You do know that. There's two different sins, I think, at the time. I think I know right now. One is suicide and the other one is blasphemy. So when you do that whole dance, what they're doing, they're getting the spirit of the Lord. People that really get it. But people that are faking it, and you're doing it for fun, and at the end of the day, you have condemned yourself. You think about that one, dancing around like that, carrying on like that. Don't do that at the end of the day. That's extremely, extremely dangerous. The word hallelujah is not a word to be taken as a joke. The word hallelujah is praise to God. It's the highest praise you can ever give to God. When you use that in songs and stuff like that as a joke or whatever, that's extremely dangerous. I'm telling you, you don't fear God. At the end of the day, you'll fear the other one. You definitely will fear him, because that one will walk right into your house and murder your entire family, get you to commit suicide, do all kinds of crazy stuff to you. At the end of the day, it'll bring things into your house that you didn't even think even were possible to even exist on this planet. Some of the things, the darker parts of the earth that you have never even thought that ever existed. Things that only they talk about in nightmares and legends and storybooks and all kinds of creepy things you ever thought. You thought The Exorcist was a horror story? Yeah, that ain't nothing compare. If that thing walked in your house, if Satan himself sat in your house, that is nothing compare of what they went through with that Exorcist. And that was a true story, by the way. That wasn't the devil. That was one of his demons. He had a name. I'll mention his name, but he mentioned his name. It's not Satan himself. You have no idea what you're opening up for. Don't do that. And that's crazy. That's insane. You want to be protected by the blood. You want the Lord to have your back. And especially in the way this world's going, the world's getting more evil and evil. People are killing and murdering each other. You got people walking in with assault rifles and wiping out droves of people at one time. What do you think is giving them ideas like that? It's insane. You really want to be walking around in this decade and time doing stuff like that? But them freaking preachers that sit there and they heal somebody, everybody falls over. That's craziness. That's absolute craziness. I remember they were talking about this. There were these guys who decided to do this, I don't know what it was, but some kind of scrolls that they had. And this guy was supposed to be this anointed chosen king. And they put him up on his chair. And they basically lifted up the chair and they walked him around. He was this anointed king. They put a robe on him and a crown and everything. This is bad, extremely bad, not good to do. And before this happened, he had something came to him, told him not to do it. Don't do it. Don't get up on that chair. Don't do it. Everybody who did that either dies from some disease, cancer. He died from some kind of bad disease. He had something like stage 3 or something like that, cancer he died from. But they all perished who did that. You don't do stuff like that at all, period. Very dangerous to do. But to steal from God? Oh my goodness. How do you do that? That's crazy. So let me get this straight. You steal from God to collect these trinkets on the earth, something that you won't take with you when you leave. So when you pass off this earth, all those trinkets that you took to rob and steal from God, you won't take with you. they will stay here on the earth. And you will pass over to the next life, and where you don't have access to the kingdom of heaven because you stole from God to get the very same trinkets that you can't take with you when you pass through. Yep. Crazy. Insane. I remember about a bishop who basically was unhappy with his life with his wife and decides that he's going to be with someone else. Number one, you committed adultery. In Old Testament, you would have been stoned to death. They'd have taken you out in the pit, and they would have got you against a wall, and the people would have got together and they would have stoned you until death. So that's a sin, is adultery. Once you're married, you don't cheat on your wife at all, period. It's to death do you part. Another thing I believe in, some people don't believe in this at all, but I believe in it, and it says it right there in the Bible when the Pharisees were trying to challenge Jesus. Because they couldn't figure out how did Jesus, at his age of 30, how his doctrine was so strong. They couldn't believe, like, how does he know all this? He doesn't even have, at that time, a man with gray hair was considered to be a man that had great knowledge. And he doesn't even have any gray hair. Like, how would he know all this stuff? And they became jealous over Jesus. Because again, the people followed them, the people worshiped them, and they didn't like the fact that Jesus came in and went against everything that they were doing. And he taught the people in a different way. And the people basically looked up to Jesus and they couldn't stand it. And they became jealous over this. So they would challenge him all the time. And Jesus would always answer them in a way that basically would leave them basically baffled. He would answer them in a way correctly that basically anything they tried would fail. And one of the things they talked about was basically marriage. You have a man basically, about a man who basically divorces his wife. If you divorce your wife, you're not supposed to get remarried. You know that, right? A lot of people ain't gonna like that when I say that, but it's true. You're not supposed to remarry. Till death do you part. The only way you can marry is if somebody dies. You're under God's contract. See, in a man's contract, you divorce. You can divorce, and the laws of, what do you call it? Sorry, there's a word for it. But anyway, if you can't go out and marry somebody else, if you're divorced, due to the fact that you are under God's contract, and under God's contract, one of you have to go. That's the only way you can remarry. So if I'm going to marry somebody, she has to be a widow, or she has to have never been married. If she's been married to somebody, I can't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Because technically, by law, God's law, you're still married to that person. Now, under man's law, you're not. But under God's law, you are still married to that person. The only way that contract can be broken is when you pass off the earth. That's why you gotta know who you're gonna marry at the end of the day, because once you sign that contract with God and you get married under His church, or anybody get married under God's law, and to be a church at the end of the day, it's to death do you part. That's how it works. So you go out and marry again, you've committed a sin. You're not supposed to do that. So this preacher, knowing this, that if he basically divorces his wife and marries another, he's committed this sin. So the devil, again, how twisted, the devil will mess up your life. And doing this adultery, messing around with this woman he shouldn't have been with to begin with, and cheating on his wife, turns around and gets the bright idea to kill her. Because he figures if he kills her and she dies, then the contract is broken and he can go marry this woman. But you just committed murder. Thou shalt not kill, saith the Lord. And you literally went from one sin to two sins. And he got caught. He married that woman right there on the same spot where his wife was killed. Man, how dirty can you be? Yep. And now he's in jail forever. He got life for it. But the devil went in there and told him, like, look, you can fix this. You don't have to worry about, committing this adultery. If you already committed adultery already, but you don't have to worry about that, because, just if she dies, then, you're out of the contract. That's all. You just have to kill her. And that's what he did. So he turned around and he didn't think about it. I'm already committing one sin. I'm going to turn around and murder this woman too. You just committed murder. Yep. Crazy stuff, man. And that will tell you, get you more trouble. Even more trouble. See your fate even faster. It's just best to do things the right way. Hopefully, you don't cheat on your wife. Hopefully, I know sometimes relationships get sour and all that other. That's why, again, I choose not to be married. But relationships get sour and all that stuff, you know. But you just try to work it out the best you can. I know people say, but you know, it's hard for you, easy for you to say because you're not married. Yeah, it's true. But I've been in relationships 5 and 6 years, almost like being married at the end of the day. Well, the only difference is we lived together for 5 or 6 years, just didn't have a certificate saying we was married, but still the same thing. The only difference is a person living together for 6 years with somebody, which you're not supposed to do either way, period. That was a sin I did. But anyway, living together for 6 years and a person married living together for 6 years is pretty much the same thing. The only difference is one's married and one's not. One has a certificate and documents saying they're married, and the other one says they don't. But they're both doing the same kind of thing at the end of the day. There is no way in the world you're going to have a perfect relationship. That's virtually impossible. That doesn't even exist anywhere in the world. You got two different people that are together, and they're only in common by a few things, but deep down inside, technically, they are different. There are things at the end of the day that you're going to do to tick her off. There's things that she's going to do to tick you off. Just going to have to figure out how to get all that to work. People have been together for like 60 years and 40 years and all that. They basically figured out how to get it to work. There's no way in the world. Well, I don't know. There's some people that can have done it. They basically look at each other like the first day they basically met. Married people have done that. Old couples have been together and looked at each other since the first day they have met. They've been that way since day one. That's what you call meant to be. And then you grow up in that stage where basically you start off with the cupcake stage, which, you know, you care about what the person thinks. You don't break wind in front of them. You don't burp in front of them and all that stuff. And then you get to that stage where you get used to be around them, where they come upstairs and the door's open. They're taking a crap. And like, whatever. You know what I mean? Because you're kind of used to it now. You know what I mean? They can burp in front of you. They're comfortable around you. And then you get to the stage where you get too comfortable around each other and you start to hate each other after a while. Like, gee whiz, man, I swear. It just annoys me for him to brush his teeth. They're just brushing the teeth, but it triggers you off. Like little things will trigger you off. But you can't separate from each other because y'all spent too much time with each other. And to separate basically would kill each other if you were to separate, but you hate each other. You love each other in a way where you're still together, but you still hate each other, which is funny. That's the 5-year period. That's the 5-year period when you go through that craziness at the end of the day. And if you make it past the 5-year period, which you should have been married by now, then you're in the stage where basically where you've just been around each other so long that you've basically been through it all. That's how they just grow old together. That's it. Unless you're at that stage where you hate the other person so much, you just wait for the other person to pass off the earth so you can have a peace of mind. But the funny thing about it is when that person does pass off, your life is empty. Because even though you might not have liked that person, in the end, they still were part of you when they go. So a part of you is empty. Yep. Isn't it interesting? That's why I like psychology. I had an ex who was a psychiatrist. I read her books all the time. I was always fascinated about the human mind and human behavior and how people act and things that they do. I find it fascinating. So I was asked, like, do you analyze people all day? And she does analyze people all day because that's what she does for a living. I would do it too. It's interesting. You'd say certain key words and people would react to those certain key words. And figure out why would they react to the certain words that way. Each person says something different when they react to that certain key word. Means that key word has a meaning of something that happened in their life to trigger off that reaction. Do you ever realize when you're playing BioShock, the last one, that the guy was trying to brainwash you? He kept saying ever again, ever, thank you ever so kindly. He kept saying it over and over and over again. Every time he asked you to do something, thank you ever so kindly. Can you go down and get so much on so? Thank you ever so kindly. Thank you ever so kindly. Man, it was mind-blowing to think that the entire time you thought you were there and you thought your plane crashed there and you ended up there. No, you were there the entire time. You were brainwashed. There were no other survivors. It was him in there. Yes, it was him, but there were no other people in there. It was just you in there and him. But he had you brainwashed. That's why he asked you to do tasks. He would say the same thing. Thank you ever so kindly. Brainwashed. You were already brainwashed. You were like a sleeper. But your plane never crashed. That never even happened at all. Period. You were there the entire time. I was like, what? Man, that's what I love about Bioshock. If they bring out another Bioshock, please don't make it in the air. I mean, the one in the air was fun. It was interesting, but the one underwater was just so much creepier. Oh my goodness, especially when you saw the Big Daddy walking out there along the side, doom, doom, doom. I like it better when they had the Big Daddy that was hunting you. Because when they made the second one, man, you had a little power. You had some power there. I mean, you weren't afraid of no Big Daddy because you could take him easily. I mean, he could give you a little way to go, but you still could take him. You weren't afraid of him like when you played the first game when he was walking around. You didn't attempt to go near that thing with a 10-foot pole. You ran from it. But the one they made, the second one, where they made you, I think you were the Big Daddy, yeah, and you had to fight the big little sister, whatever it was called, little sister, big sister, whatever it was. Anyway, it didn't seem like you really got afraid of the slicers or anything because you're a Big Daddy at the end of the day. You wiped them out like they were nothing. You run right through them. So that fear factor wasn't really there. The first one was the best one. It took me 3 attempts to play that game because when you would go down the elevator and you would hear the freaking slicers on top of the elevator laughing and carrying on, that freaked me out. It took me a while to actually play that game, and I fell in love with it. I've been addicted to it ever since then. But if they bring another Bioshock, they need to bring it out underwater. That was the best ever, the best ever. And if possible, put a sea monster in the water because that'd be kind of hot. I would like to be able to go outside and explore the outer areas of the city itself. That'd be cool. Put something creepy out there. I mean, really freaking creepy. You know what I mean? So you could bump into it and it could terrify the daylights out of you. I would love to have something like that. I tell you that, man. I love games like that. I love games like that. Underwater games, submersive games where you're underwater and you never know what's going to come out of the blackness and smile at you. Those games right there freak me out the most. I love those the most. They had a game for the VR. It was called Summertime. Summertime Fun Time, I think it was called. And you got to do an amusement park. That was pretty cool. They should have made it so other people can come in and play with you. It'd been pretty cool to be on a roller coaster with other people besides myself. But they had this section in the game that you go and you get in this little mini submarine and you check out the ocean, and it's beautiful because you got a chance to see tropical fish and turtles and stuff. And then as it starts to descend, it starts getting darker and darker and darker. Then you end up in this lost city and you bump into a sea monster. Man, that thing was creepy, freaked me out, freaking loved it. Ended up using my inhaler that day. That's how fantastic it was. I had to use my inhaler, couldn't breathe. That was really good. But yeah, they should do that with the next Bioshock. They should make it underwater. They should make a much bigger city. I mean, the city was actually pretty good size, but they should make a much bigger city. And they should make it to give you the option that you have, well, not the option, you have to leave the city and scuba over to the other side. And they have to put something really creepy in the water. Because knowing that there's something creepy in the water, hearing it, watching it move past, watching the fin or the eye open up near the side of the window would freak you out just to go out there, but you had to be out there. That would be so much fun. Yeah, that's a good game. That was a really good game. Really, really good game. I like when you would bump into ghosts. You would go into a room and the ghost would reenact what happened in that environment. I just found it interesting that this man had like endless amounts of money and he just didn't want to be controlled by the government anymore. And he decided to build a world that the government had no control over, and he built this entire utopia underwater. And the funny thing about it is, even when he tried to bring a whole new different world that people can actually live without the freedom of being attacked or being controlled by the government, is that basically he couldn't escape corruption. That corruption followed him right down there. Because people mind, for gangsters at the end of the day, people who do organized crime, that's fantastic. There's really no police down there. It's all free enterprise. There's plenty of customers to do business with. There's plenty of people to extort. Heck yeah, it's a dream. It's a dream for anybody in the criminal world. It's excellent. And that's what happened. These people went down there and corruption started. And then you had people that were attacking the Little Sisters for the, I guess I forgot what they call it anyway, the Little Sisters had. I can't think of the name of it, Adam or whatever it's called. I think it's called Adam. Anyway, and they developed the Big Daddies to protect them. And then they got into basically gene slicing with telekinesis and all kinds of different forms of mind powers and stuff. And the people went mad and went crazy and started murdering each other. That was real good. It's a good game. Really good game. I miss Bioshock. I do. Never got into Dead Space. I don't know how you people play that game. What in the freaking world? Like, how do you play that game? Like, that game is freaking creepy as I don't know what. I play some creepy games, but Dead Space is creepy. My friend finished all of them. I was like, how? I tried to play that game. I got as far as the corridor. When you come out and you walk down the hallway and you see these things walking around with arms sticking out of their head, moving back and forth. That was it. I unplugged the game. I'm done. I'm done. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I can't do it. I can't. Call me a punk. I don't care. I can't do it. I can't do Dead Space. Resident Evil. I freaking love Resident Evil. I've done the last couple ones, but I like Resident Evil. But that one right there, man. That was pretty creepy. What's another one they got? Oh, Silent Hill. Nope, never played Silent Hill a day in my life. Never went near it. Ain't going near it. Ain't about to be around it. Nope. I don't do Silent Hill. We got people who beat that game to the evil within. Nope. Now it's another one. Ain't touching that one either. More likely, I'm a big fan of zombie games. I love zombie games. I think my addiction to zombie games started with Left 4 Dead. That's what started it. I wouldn't go near. I didn't like Left 4 Dead when I first saw it. Like, nah, it's gonna be boring. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. And then, what system was on? I forgot what system was on. But anyway, I got the game system, got the Xbox 360. I saw Left 4 Dead a couple of times. I didn't go near it. I didn't think it was gonna be that good of a game. And somebody came in the room, they were chiming like, yo, you ever play Left 4 Dead? I'm like, no, I never played it. Like, man, that game is off the chain. You gotta play. You gotta get it. Everybody's in there playing. You gotta be in it. Because I was wondering where everybody was at. And I kept seeing on the tabs that Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead. What the freak is Left 4 Dead? I downloaded that game, man. I never had so much fun in my freaking life, man. Everybody having each other's back through the whole entire game. And then when you get to like the final finale, everybody screws each other over. Oh, that was jacked up. But man, I tell you something. I never laughed so hard than watching somebody get, what was it? What was the, oh man, I can't think of the name. That thing would jump on your head and hump your head. Oh my God. I would laugh so hard every time somebody got attacked by that thing. This little man would jump up on your head and just hump your head. And we'd be in there crying. And it took us a while, basically, to kill it and get it off you. But it was just funny to watch for a while. Just to watch you run around panic and screaming on the microphone, like, get off me, get off me, get off me. You'd be in there crying over this. The tanks, all that. Tanks had their own theme music attached to it. You had the spitters. Man, that was freaking, then they had the, oh man. Then they had the online version where you can play on teams. Like you can play as the infected, or they can play as the survivors, and they had to try to get to the safe house, and you had to try to stop from getting to the safe house. I never forget that I was playing with this one guy. He had me crying. He was this kid with this really deep voice, like he sounded like Luther Vandross. He had a really deep voice, and he got this guy good. This guy was coming around the corner, and he caught him. He was just slamming to the ground like, "Didn't I tell you to pay me that money next week?" I was in there dying. Oh, we never had so much. That was a good game. That was a really good game. A really, really good game. Oh, man, it was a really good game. Then you had the clowns. They had the level they brought in with the clowns, and you hit the clowns, you hear the nose go, doop, doop. It would make the sound of the nose of the clown going off. But, man, I met a lot of cool people in it. As a matter of fact, I'm still friends with people that were on my account from the Xbox 360, believe it or not. I'm still friends with them. We laugh about that from time to time. We talk about how we had so much fun. My friend of mine, he was like this computer hacker, and he was always doing modded lobbies. He was always invited to these cool lobbies. One day, had raining witches in there. Raining witches. It was raining witches, and they were screaming on the way down. And then they were the zombie horde. He actually magnified the zombie horde. I think it was every like 10 per each witch that came. It was insane, impossible to get through the level. That was another thing he did. He made a game all tanks. Nothing but tanks, nothing but tanks. We had some fun. It was raining gnomes. We had gnomes all over the place. It was just crazy, the stuff he was doing in there. Oh, and he modified the weapons. I've used a railgun, flamethrower, Desert Eagle, rocket launcher. He was modding everything, man. He was a cool dude. He was just, crazy little white kid. He was cool as I don't know what. He was like, hey guys, you want to join my lobby? And I said, what's going on in there? And he was like, you want to check it out? Let's go check it out. And I went there, I was like, oh my goodness. I went to look at it, like, wait, this is not where'd you get this from? You get like, it's a DLC? It's a, no, I modded the game. I was like, oh my, it's a modded lobby? He said, yeah. So we all went in there. And we'd go in there and play those games, man. It was cool. He helped us break a lot of the one of the achievements we couldn't get was the one basically you had to play the game on the hardest level. So he was allowing us to spawn inside of the safe room. So we automatically got the achievement. That's the only time we cheated. But other than that, man, that guy was cool as I don't know what. He had some pretty cool lobbies. We used to go in there all the time and game with him. Yeah, he's a fun dude, man. He's great. He modded, whatchamacallit, he modded Burnout Paradise. He was in there, Burnout Paradise, sent the invite, like, doop, doop, like, hey, I'm doing Burnout Paradise today. You want to come to check it out? Like, oh, heck yeah. Man, you ever play with a shopping cart with a booster on it? We did shopping carts, big wheels, American Green Machine that was in there. We had the mystery van from Scooby A-Team. He had all kinds of stuff in there to play with. Oh, we had a ball in there. We had a ball. He was a cool dude. But he was some kind of IT tech guy. He was like really high up on the ladder, but programmed encryption coding and all this stuff. But he was cool as I don't know what. He always had some crazy lobby for us to go like, yeah, I'm modding this today. You want to go check it out? Oh, yeah. Call time my friends like, yeah, he's modding a lobby. We had to go. He only had to select people we would go in. So we'd only bring our circle in so nobody could report him. But yeah, he was doing some cool stuff in those games, man. Call of Duty. Oh my goodness. Call of Duty. I'm sorry, I can't say the curse word, but the B slap. So basically the melee was a slap and you heard it go, beep, the curse word would go off every time you slap somebody with it. So that's all you hear in the back, like beep, 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 beep. That's all you could use is basically was a hand slap. Melee weapons for brooms and mops and stuff like that. It was just hilarious, the stuff he was doing in there. One of the guns he had in there was like some kind of like a pop gun that shot confetti or whatever. It was this crazy stuff. It was this fun stuff in there. He was in there having a ball in there, modding up the games and stuff. It was cool as I don't know what. I said, where was you at when we had Grand Theft Auto? Man, that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, he's a cool dude. I played with a couple people. One of my buddies, he modded Grand Theft Auto. Playing that. I think the best Grand Theft Auto of all times is I can't think of the woman. The Russian guy. I can't think of which one it is. Is it 3? I think it's 3 or whatever. I think it is. No, it's not 3. I think it's 4. I think that's the best one. I did like that. That was the best one for online play. Because online play now is trash. It's trash. People will sit there and complain if you blow up their cars. They'll get upset. GTA was never like that. GTA was all out war. That's what it was. So what, you got a car? I'm blowing it up. So what, you're in the way? I'm shooting. I'm taking you down. It got to the point now where people basically care and cry about everything on that game. Literally. Oh, don't blow up my car. I just got it. You know, so and so and so. And people get mad at you blow up someone's car. Seriously? That's supposed to be GTA. GTA is the game, and when it came out, it was decided you can go in and do whatever the freak you want. You can take whatever car you want, this, that, and the other. You know, it was just craziness. And now it's gotten to the point where it's more like, this is GTA. We call this Gingerfied Karen Edition. It's like that now. And you can't walk in there and rip someone's stuff up at the end of the day. Everybody gets mad and upset about it, like, oh, that's wrong, man. You know, why'd you blow up this car like that? Like, seriously, this is what we've gone to? I can't stand the GTA one. I hate it. But the one they had with, let me see if I can figure out which one that was. Oh, that was my favorite. Let me see. GTA 4. Yes, there you go. That was the best online GTA ever. Because you can level anybody you want at any given time. Didn't make no difference. Wasn't no rules. Everybody got it in. You can even have the cops on. That was the best game ever online. Everybody got it. Didn't care if you. So what? You got a car. Guess what? I can take it, blow it up, do whatever the freak I want to do. And people won't complain about it. That's stuff the game was set up to be. But now they got it where I got insurance on my vehicle. You know what I mean? I don't want you touching my vehicle. Get out of my car, man. You can't take my ride. What? We got rules for this now? I just can't go in there and wreck anything the freak I want? That's the whole purpose of GTA. It's complete chaos. There's no insurance on this, insurance on that. Now you just blow it up. You just go get another car, that's all. You blow up that car, go get me another one. That's it. Man, in this game, if you haven't played the 360 version online, you have freaking missed out. On this game, when they made the lobbies, you can control everything in the lobbies. So you can make it all handguns only. You can make it all snipers only. You can make it all knives only. You can control the weather in there. So we used to do fog and the prison, knives only. You could take off the auto aim. You had control over everything that you want to control in there. You can make it where basically you can put the cops on. So basically, if you can be in a rumble and shooting, now you got to deal with the cops. You got to deal with the SWAT. You got to deal with everybody and deal with everybody at the same time. Freaking amazing. Literally can control the weather in the game when you're doing your online lobbies. Freaking amazing. Amazing, I'm telling you. Now you play the game, people get upset and complain if you touch their car or if you hit them, if you hit somebody. What you doing, man? What you hit me? Man, you all out brawl. They fought in here all day long. That's what they did. People walk up and just sucker punch you and you just got into a brawl with them. Or a bunch of your friends, they just all out in the street hitting each other, laughing and carrying it on. Shooting each other with rocket launchers. I remember one time I made a level where basically it was rocket launchers only. That's the only thing you got was rocket launchers. And we was fighting in the park. And all you saw in the park was boom, 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 just explosions just going off all day through the game. It was freaking hilarious. And then somebody popped into the game like, oh, snap. We started out with rocket launchers. This is what I'm talking about. Boom, he'd be gone. Man, it was so much fun. You would hit the respawn button so many times, but it was hilarious. And you would have people race to get to the airport, to get to the helicopters, because the helicopters had rockets on them. And you could basically take people out. But you've seen people get the rockets blowing up before you would even get on one. Somebody would blow it up. Oh, it was hilarious. One of the things I liked on the game is everybody, if you had a game where you start off at the spawn point, I think it was not the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was at the ending of the spawn point. This is right near the dock. So you'd be at the dock, and you would start off, and we would have this game, like we'd make this game, we were a whole bunch of people, bring them in, and we'd have this game that the first person who makes it to the Statue of Liberty gets free Xbox Live points. I'd be whoever's still controlling it would basically have to transfer the points. So I had the points already set up with the number on it to give it to you so you can get the points. So it didn't make a difference how you got there or who you killed to get there, as long as you got there. And it was fun. We had a lot of fun doing it. So you had all these people stacking up in the lobby to get these Xbox Live points. And make sure there's a lot of them so everybody get make the bundle high. And we all log in. We all be waiting there. So we all spawn in. And you could do whatever you got to take. You got to take somebody out with a helicopter, run them over with a car, whatever it takes. Make sure that you're the only one standing when you get to that Statue of Liberty. And you got to brawl there, you brawl there. Oh, we had so much fun, man. So much fun with that. We had people that were sitting in the bushes. People would take off and they would blow their cars up with rocket launchers, knowing they had to respawn all the way back at the beginning, because you can put where the spawn points would be at, and they would respawn all the way at the beginning, and then you have to come all the way up because you have to gather time to get enough time to get where you have to get at. It was just fun. You see people taking boats, people taking bikes, people taking cars, people running to the airport to get the choppers, all kinds of stuff. It was freaking all out chaos. All out chaos. Or if you're playing like in thick, heavy fog, in a prison, and you only have knives only, oh, it's hilarious. It's freaking had a ball in that game. That was the best online version ever. Now, I came on here to play way back when it came out, and the guy was like, well, you got to get insurance for your car, and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. And people get upset. You take their vehicles, people get upset because you basically scratch their car or hit their car or touch their car or anything like that. And I'm like, what the freak are we playing here? What happened to the GTA freaking I came up with? Or basically, everybody went at each other, didn't make a difference. If your car got blown up, so what? Go get another one. But now you get points, you put them in garages and modify them and all this stuff at the end of the day. Oh, man, that's just so boring. That is. I hope the next one that they do, don't do that dumb nonsense. Don't make the online game where you go in and you have insurance on cars and all that stuff, man. Make it all-out brawl. That's what it should be. So I'll blow your vehicle up. Go get another one. They're all over the place. Find one. If you can get to it. I never forget the time we was in there rumbling, and I left the cops on. And I remember I was in the alleyway. I was sniping people in the alleyway. Anybody walk by, I'm taking them out in the alleyway. And I just watched my buddy blow by on a bike with shooting at another guy in a car, and all these cop cars behind him. Woo, 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 chasing him. Man, I'm telling you, best time ever, man. Best time ever. This was the best. Remember little Jacob? Little Jacob's accent was so freaking thick. Yeah, they would look at the subtitles and understand what he was saying. Now, the other one I do like on versus, this is the best online play. I do like the basically story mode for this. But the GTA, I think it's what? I get these mixed up on this right real quick. Let's see if we get it right. GTA 4. GTA 4. Let me see. GTA 5 and GTA 4. GTA 5. GTA 5. Yes, Trevor. That would be the best person I've ever, the best psychopath ever. He's perfect, perfect for GTA. I hope they bring out another Trevor. Trevor was awesome. Trevor was absolutely freaking awesome. I would say out of the story mode, if Trevor wasn't in there, yeah, GTA would be boring. GTA 5 would have been boring without Trevor. Trevor was a complete, he was what GTA was designed to be. He was what GTA. They could literally make a game, and they should. They should literally make a game around Trevor. They should. Because Trevor was something else, boy. Trevor, when you would spawn back into Trevor's body, you would wake up in some of the weirdest places ever. Trevor knew some of the most craziest psychotic people on the face of the planet. If GTA is listening, man, if you got, not GTA, but Rockstar Games, if you're listening, you literally need to make a game around Trevor. Trevor is something else. Trevor's missions were fun. I love Trevor's missions. They were freaking fun. Trevor did some crazy stuff. When people would be on the side of the road, Trevor would pick up hitchhikers and take them to cults. Trevor did some crazy, crazy stuff. Man, he was something else, boy. Trevor was crazy. They literally need to make a game. They would make millions off of that. Make a game around Trevor. So many people buy that. Because there wasn't enough on Trevor. There just wasn't enough. When I did Michael's missions, it was okay, and the other guy was okay. But Trevor's was the funnest. Trevor did the most craziest stuff ever. They should make a game around Trevor. They really should. That's all people remember. When I was playing GTA, all they talked about was Trevor and his crazy tactics. That's how, I forgot the guy named the guy, what's his name? I can't think of the guy. What were the GTA characters? When they were having the conversation in the truck where they were stealing the cars, and they were taken to the rich guy, the guy went to his cars, and the guy was having the conversation. He was telling the story how he met Michael and all that stuff like that, and what went on and everything, and how the guy was laughing. Like, so you got blank by blank, blank by blank. He was just messing with Trevor. He was screwing with him in the truck. I was crying over laugh so hard. Like, he was basically busting on Trevor. And I'm surprised Trevor didn't try to kill him. But he was busting on Trevor in the car about how Trevor got taken, how he got his feelings hurt. I was crying, never laughed so hard. But they should do a game strictly around Trevor. Trevor needs his own freaking game. And they should make it buck wild. Because Trevor was completely buck wild. They should. That's why I love doing Trevor's missions. When it came time to switch over, I used to always switch back to Trevor. Trevor always woke up somewhere weird. And then you beat the game, and they have like these other missions that'll pop up, and you meet Trevor's mother, and you go, oh, okay, I understand why Trevor's so messed up, because Trevor's mother was messed up. She was really, really messed up. And you understand why Trevor was so screwed up. That's why. His mother was something else. Trevor became Trevor. And Michael, I forgot the other guy's name. Oh, I remember his name. But anyway, yeah, they should do it. They should do a storyline around Trevor. Trevor was hilarious. The time he was chasing the girl down the bike on the Hollywood Hills. Oh my goodness! I swear, like I said, Trevor's missions and those side missions were insane. When he met the psychopath, the girl who lived in the creepy house that was killing all the birds and stuff, she was doing the taxidermy, that nut job. Yeah. Trevor met some of the most creepiest people you would ever see in your entire life. But that freaking cult on top of the hill, because when I first saw it, I said, what the freak? I'm exploring the whole area. I like to cover the whole area first. And I was like, what's this for? And my buddy was like, oh, that's so when you pick up hitchhikers, you can take them over to the cult. So I was like, gee whiz. And then in the end, they tried to burn Trevor, and Trevor killed them all. Man, Trevor was something else. They ought to bring a game around Trevor. I don't know why they didn't think about that. They should. I hope this GTA they have has a really good, deep meaning behind it. Because GTA's games have really good, deep storylines. They're really good. The submarine and all that stuff like that. They have some pretty good games. It's really deep missions. They got to make the maps bigger. After a while, it's like when you first play the game, the maps seem a bit overwhelming, but after a while, you learn the whole map in no time at all. They need to make the maps much bigger. Like they should have it where you can go, oh man, if they made a map that big, that'd be incredible. Can you imagine they made a map with 3 cities? If we get like Washington, D.C., California, and New York City and Philly, if we get like 4 all together, you know how big that map would be? That'd be huge. On top of that, how come they don't have a zombie version of GTA? Because that's a lot of freaking zombies to go through. That'd be freaking cool. A GTA version that's all zombies. You can drive, fly, whatever you want at the end of the day. That would be amazing. Oh man, come on, they gotta do something with all that. I would love to see a zombie version. I'm pretty sure someone's modded it already. World War Z. Oh man, they've added new updates to that. They got new bulls in there. New bulls in there. They got a couple of new special infectants in there now. I do miss when I played. I didn't like it at first. I played Back 4 Blood. I didn't like it at first, but then after I learned that whole card deck system already, so it's actually an extremely good game. It's a very good game. I forgot about that. I go buy my DLCs for it. I really forgot to get the DLCs for that game. But anyway, that is a really good game. I mean, at first, I hated it at first because the stacking system with the decks and all like that. But once you learn the whole system, it's not really that hard to learn it. I had to just take the time to learn it. I just wanted to just go in there, run and gun. But after you learn it, it's actually pretty cool. So anyway, the zombies in there are freaking relentless, man. The bosses are relentless. Real nice job with the bosses and stuff. But no witches. No crying witches. Oh, that was made the game for Left 4 Dead with those witches. You would hear them crying in the background. I remember one time we was in there with this girl. She cut one in half with a chainsaw. I was like, I didn't know you could kill them with chainsaws. I learned something new that day. You can actually cut one of them in half with a chainsaw. But yeah, I like that. Now, if you played Left 4 Dead, you have to take the time to read some of the messages in the safe house. They are pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. They're confessions that they have on the wall of the survivors. They're actually all over the walls. You have to read some of that crazy stuff. They talk about one person how day by day, how she was slowly turning into a witch. It's crazy. Like, crazy, crazy. I want to play one where the apocalypse is just popping off. That's what I want to play one. When you can actually get killed by helicopters and planes and all that stuff crashing out of the sky and boats and all that stuff like that. You know, that kind of craziness. I do like zombie games. I do love them. I Left 4 Dead started all that. Because when I do zombie games now, no one talks. No one talks. I actually have to have my own rooms set up where I have my people come in and we just chat and talk. But no one talks in the rooms anymore. It's fun when you have people talking in the room, especially when you're playing zombie games. It's hilarious. But you have to have people on your friends list that they all talk. Kind of hard to tell people, like when we first start the game, do not start the game. We have to set up for this. I swear I hate that in freaking World War Z. This is why I don't game with anybody in World War Z, because these jokers will come in there and set the game up. Noobs at the end of the day. Didn't set up any of the freaking stationary weapons needed for the survival of this game. And these dummies go run and gun. Why would you go run and gun to begin with? You know how zombie games work at the end of the day? Like if one of y'all dies, the freaking game starts to intensify. Because basically we're stronger together. If one of us basically dies, they bring in more zombies. The game intensifies even more, as if basically, you know, to give you that feeling like, you know what I mean, because one person died, it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle because you have less people to help you survival. And they run off and take off somewhere. Like, why? I still love that fact on that whole Left 4 Dead that at the end everybody would fight to help each other out. But when he got to the boat, oh man, the one you had to take the boat when you're in the old Mississippi house, and you're in there defending yourself from the zombies, and the boat comes up, and everybody has to run to the boat. Some people don't make it, some people do. Some people are crazy enough to go back and save other people and bring them back on the boat, and then they back them up. Oh, I was with a crew like that one time. That was a real good crew, a real good crew. One of the persons got caught up in the house, and everybody got off the boat to go help them out. 2 people went in, and 2 people stayed behind to kill off anything that was coming in. It was a fantastic team. Everybody passed the save point, or the last part of the game. Everybody, no one was left behind. That was a fantastic game because everybody had each other's back. I like games like that when everybody has each other's back. How far? How many more we got to go of these? Oh no, there's more. Ah, gotta turn all these red. Gee whiz, I'm gonna be here for a while. I don't want to be here for a while. What time is it? It's like 11:01. I got things to do today. All right, let me see how far we're gonna go down. Let's get down to this part right here, and then we'll stop here, and then we'll continue the rest of it. Okay. You did my wish I had it the other way. The other way was actually much easier. Much easier. Now some people are like, what's going on? I'm not talking about it. I told you we're done with all that. It's already been finished. It's done. We are done with this section right here. We've already got the I got the confirmation that they got all they needed to finish the investigation. So we're done. All we got to do now is just wait for court date. That's all. It's coming up next, the court date. And for those of you who want to know, guess what? No shopping cart open. Nope. I didn't have time because I'm doing updates. But my people have been hitting me back and saying, we've been there already. No shopping cart open. Like I said, I don't get that at all, period. It's a shopping cart. I mean, it's a website. You don't need to shut it. No point in shutting it at all. Now, some people are saying, well, do you need this product? No, we actually don't need this product at all, period. We don't really need this product. I'm going to see if he can ship it out. He talked all that trash at the end of the day about the product being this, that, and the other. He's going to be sued either way. Don't make a difference. He's still getting sued. You got to be the backup. That's our product in that container. He ran his mouth too much about something that wasn't really true. So either way, when he gets to court, he's still going to have to show some kind of receipts and show that's our product at the end of the day. And if the judge sits there and says, well, how do you know if it's not the product? Did you try to buy it? Yeah, we did. We came in and tried to buy it. And the item, he refused the item. Now, if he cancels the receipt, then that's going to get him sued. Because it's going to show if you can back something up at the end of the day. And it means a lawsuit at the end of the day. You getting sued? Yeah, you're going to back it up. You have to back it up. You get sued. So, you know, that's the lawsuit right there. If the shopping carts are locked and we can't get access to it, that's a lawsuit right there from the door. You know, because we can't get the product. On top of that, it just shows all the trash he talked about, this, that, and the other. He's just basically just blowing hot air. That's all. His products don't work at all. Talk all this trash and don't back it up. And then we get the item over here and it has a different address on it. That tells me something too, that you're afraid at the end of the day because you know we have criminal charges on you and you're getting sued because you don't want us to have your address. You can have my address. I ain't got no problem with that at all, period. As a matter of fact, on the place of order, I have the address right here. I'll send it right over to you. Not a problem at all. But he won't put his address on it because he knows that in the day we have hardcore evidence against him, and he's going to be prosecuted and be taken to jail. What? I don't even know why you would fight that, because either way, because you're part of the investigation, they're going to have your address anyway. You know, like, who the freak is Danny Roger? Well, Danny Rogers, the guy who did all this stuff right here, along with this fellow right here. Well, guess what? You became associate to this whole entire investigation. So guess what they got to do? They got to figure out who you are so they can bring you in for questioning. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to dig up all your information, figure out where you're at, where you live at, where you work at, anything they can find out exactly to trace your whereabouts and bring you down here for questioning. That's what's going to happen. Bring you over there for questioning. And then they'll get ready to put you for court, get you ready for court. Right? Either way, we want to have it. Doesn't make a difference. That's all. But just to see whether or not, if he's not going to, we get a post office box on there, we know from the door, you're hiding your address. Why are you hiding your address if you got nothing, you're not guilty of anything? Or use somebody else's address. So anything that comes up like that tells us from the door that he automatically knows he's guilty and he's scared to put his address up there. People who are not scared of anything have nothing to hide. What if the item gets down here and it's something that is not supposed to be? We're going to know that from the door. If it's not, then we got a little letter over here waiting for you. It's a complaint, file an application for file a complaint against you for post office mail fraud. And we can basically get that to stick, trust me. So I wouldn't do that either. Because mind you, I'm going to test your product. Either way, you're doomed. It doesn't make a difference, you're doomed. Product gets down here and you can't back up and it doesn't work. We can't get anything to work as you said in the product description. After making a transaction to your website, I'm going to hit your website with fraud. Another set of fraud charges. It says rear projection. Guess what? I'm expecting to see rear projection. You said this range gain. Well, this range gain better work. And I will contact you and email you and say, hey, look, how do you get this range gain to work? And if you can't give me any kind of idea how this works, you just committed fraud because you sold me something that's not true. And you can't even back it up. So guess what? That's the easy open and shut case. Took my face and put it on a little kitty cat. Yeah, guess what? Never gave you any permission to take my face and use it any way you want to for your own pleasure. So I'm going to sue you for $1 million just for touching that at the end of the day. And yes, I can do it. So, yeah. So is he going to send that product down here? No, the best thing he could do right now is just try to post as if he is going to do it and not do it at all. Make up a bunch of excuses and just go solid. That's pretty much it. Either way, he's screwed. There's no way out of it. There's no way out of it. So that's why he put that thing up there by saying, hey, I'm going to have it open on the 3rd. Hey, you don't have to wait till the 3rd. You could have basically opened up your shopping carts. I would have placed the order and just, take care of it when you get back. Like everybody else does that has a website. I've never met anybody with a website and says, no, I'm just going to shut down. For what? You can be making all that money on your account. There is no way in the world I shut my website while I go on vacation. Why? I can be getting all those orders on my account, put it up there, noted that I'll be back at a certain amount of time. And that's what happened when I was at Disney World. When I came back from Disney World, I had about $1,500 worth of orders in my account. There's no way in the world I was going to shut my site down. I put down right there exactly when I was going to come back. And when I came back, I processed all the orders. Even some of the people were saying, hey, they're sending me emails, no rush. When you get home, take some time off because you're going to have no jet lag might go on. And then you can process my order. And that's what I did. Processed everybody's orders, got it out the door, it's done. But I made money while I was at Disney World. I would never shut my site down for that. That's crazy. But he shut that site down, and we know why. There's no excuse for it. So I'm curious how it turns out, to tell you the truth, honestly. And yeah, he's already thrown Jamie and the other one under the bus. They're already under the bus. They're way under the bus. It's not even funny. That was the reason why he canceled the rest of the orders. It's not our first cancel orders from him. We have cancel orders from him. So he's done this before. He's shut his site down and brought it back up and pulled marketplaces and brought them back up. He's done this. He has a history of doing it. Anytime things get too hot for him, he starts removing stuff or closing things down. That's what he does. And then he'll get on camera, talk all that trash, and then repeat the same thing all over again as if it didn't happen already. That's why I said delusional, not there. I'm pretty sure he had a small heart attack when he saw my address pop up. Sent my address over, paid for the item, and he had a small heart attack. Canceled my order and locked every shopping cart. When that first order went through, he locked every shopping cart. Block them all. Y'all talk too much trash. That's what it comes down to. Somebody called your bluff. Sent me a little threatening email. Some nonsense about I'll slap you with the lawsuit. I got plenty of money. I'll do it for the sake of just doing it. Well, I'm still waiting for your attorney to contact me. He didn't contact me at all. No one's contacted me, period. I gave you 2 weeks, nothing. I gave you 3 days, nothing. I gave you a day, nothing at all. I think what it is, he's used to talking to people that way. And maybe it works. Maybe some people do get afraid of his words and they back down. But, buddy, I can't express this to you enough, but you got the wrong person at the end of the day. That stuff doesn't work over here at all, period. It's funny how you said you want to slap me with the lawsuit. I'm the one slapping you with the lawsuit. I'll see you in court. So we talked all that trash. Yeah, I want to hear you in court when you sit there and say that I don't have the money to pay. I got an email right here from your honor telling me he got me plenty of money. He's bragging about it right here. Okay, you give me my $1 million or $5 million, whatever I sue you for. That's why I'm taking you to civil court, because we can get that much out of you. So, yep. Careful what you say. It'll back up on you. We're going to dig into who came up with the theory about the scamming? And guess who they're going to point to? You know who. They're going to blame him. Where did this source come from? How did all this get started to begin with? Who started all this? There you go. They're going to all point the finger at Jamie. Every single one of them. I guarantee you. Any one of them offer a plea deal, they're going to basically throw Jamie clean under the bus with no mercy. They're going to blame him and say it was his fault. That he lied to them. That's what they're going to say. I guarantee you. You're going to see soon enough how well your friends are basically your friends at the end of the day. They're going to throw each other under the bus. The letter incident with Mr. Williams. And Jamie literally, we have him up there saying that he sent the letter over to the address. You do know the letters never made it to the address. I told Mr. Williams that the letters never made it to the address. Because we had a suspicious letter come from your state. All those letters were put on hold. They were sent over to the Allentown Police Department. Your fingerprints are all in there. And then we got Jamie sitting there telling he sent letters over there. So it shows that Lenny he got him to send the letters over. But when you two get into a room, you're going to try to figure out who was responsible for it. And you guys are going to point fingers at each other left and right. You're going to say it was his fault. He's going to say it was your fault. And he coached you and you coached him. Either way, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. It's not going to go well. So, I don't know. Tell you the truth. I couldn't imagine going back to that place, and I couldn't imagine basically going to that place for the first time. But I tell you one thing, it's going to be a life changer. It is. How much we got left on this? Okay. I'd like to stop right here in the middle. Let's finish this off and then. Check out this other unit. It doesn't work. Some of the stuff that's to be done today. Yeah. There you go. Jealousy. Listen to the devil. That's what it leads to. Nothing but destruction. Nothing but destruction. No good come out of it. Envy and jealousy. That's what it comes down to. And somebody said, oh, but you're jealous of this stuff. How are we jealous of this stuff? We don't even make the same thing at the end of the day. And when I was making that stuff, he didn't even exist. So how would I be jealous? All my stuff is tested. I don't know how that would even work. I don't get it. Yeah, sure. You know, I can go back and make a gray paint, stick it in the dark with a high power projector, fake the contrast levels in the color in an ambient environment, and then sell it for a ridiculous price when house paint would do the exact same thing. Oh yeah, sure. That definitely works. Okay. Right now I got orders on the floor right now I got to take out. All right, get them ready and get them ready to go for my customers. There we go. And I got the Spartan technology to finish off, so that's done at 100%. I got to get that thing done, that finished up. Got a whole bunch of gamer technology we're developing. The things come with different color screens. I'm actually going to press one of those on glass. Because a few people have been asking me about glass projection screens. We can do a glass projection screen. It's not going to be cheap, to tell you the truth. But, you know, if they're willing to pay the money for the glass screen, I mean, we could do it. People just want that object of saying the screen is made of glass. It's glass. But you can't use any kind of glass. Can't put any kind of glass up there because you're going to have problems. It's got to be tempered. Tempered glass. Have to be shatterproof and heat resistant and all that good stuff, because you're going to start forming cracks all in your screen. You can't have that in the day, can we not? And how are we going to ship that bad boy out to you is another thing too. All right, I think we hit that line right there. What do we got left here? Oh, you know what? Just get it done, because you don't have to come back to it, and I can't stand it to come back to stuff that I don't have to come back to. So we finished this already, right? Let's just get it done. I'm tired, but I got to get it done. Let me see. Gary. SpongeBob. Gary. I can't believe I walked past that store that many times, that pizza parlor. That many times. I live right down on that end. Actually closer than I am now. A lot closer than I am now. But right down on that end. Because even in the city, my place is in the city. So even right down on the end, that's what I love about Allentown. I know I can jump around, but the house is actually in the city area. Is that cool or what? But anyway, yeah, so even in the city, I'm farther away from the pizza place. Like I was living at the other place for about 8 months. And that place was right there the entire time. And I'm really finicky about pizza. I won't eat pizza from every place. And I'm figuring like, nah, pizza ain't gonna be good over there. Nah, I'm gonna touch it. You know, I'll figure out and try to find me a good pizza place down here. Cause that's the only thing I was missing, my pizza place. And sure enough, me and my sister at the laundromat, and she was like, that's the only pizza place around there. She's like, wanna go get one slice of pizza? And I was like, yeah, whatever. So we walk over there. I was like, oh shit, I walk past this place every day. And she was like, you don't go in there and eat? That's nice. The food in here is freaking amazing. Man, she was not joking, man. I tore that pizza up. Ate the whole large right there. That pizza was freaking amazing. Man, it was freaking amazing. It even tastes good when it was cold. It was freaking amazing. I was like, man, yeah, that's where I go. That's where I go. I would spend $20 on a lift to go back and forth just to go up there and get that pizza. If the food is good, that's what I'm going at. One of the die-hard customers, I'll come back every time. But yep, man, I'm gonna get some of that pizza today. There's other place where I go get my Dominican food from, and I get my Spanish food from. There's a Mexican place down here that makes Mexican food. I haven't been down there yet. Everybody kept saying the food is good down there. I'm gonna check them out. Probably like later on next week. I'm gonna pop in there and see what they got in there. And that become my #1 places that I go eat at. The pizza is banging. I like white pizza. That's my favorite, white pizza. This is other place. When I first came down here, I was just trying to find a good hoagie. Just trying to find a good hoagie. It's very hard to find good food. Trying to find a good hoagie. Not something where they soak it in freaking olive oil or too much mayo on it, because they can overpower too much mayo and you just taste nothing but mayo. They don't put enough cheese on it. They get skimpy on the meat. Freaking lettuce is wilted. Tomatoes are cut too thin. You can't even barely taste them because they don't cut them thick enough. Onions, man, are freaking, oh, I've tasted these onions. They were disgusting. The onions messed up the whole sandwich. I don't know what they did with them onions. They didn't wash them right or whatever went on in there. It just don't make it right. I mean, I want a good old-fashioned made hoagie. That's what I want. I only found one place down here that got it. They make them. They're absolutely amazing. $21, $22, worth it. Matter of fact, there's a place that get my cheesesteaks. They $37 for this cheesesteaks. Are they worth it? Oh, freaking heck yeah. Them suckers are huge. Huge. Like it's a 2-foot hoagie. I mean, a cheesesteak. Oh, my goodness, man. Freaking unbelievable. They put the melted cheese on it, saute the onions just right, man. They caramelize them, and then the freaking, they mix it all together. I'm thinking about going down there now. Taco, you want a cheesesteak? You're gonna be like, what the cheesesteak? What's a cheesesteak?
I like the pizza. Taco likes bread. I'll be honest, Taco likes bread. He likes bread. I give him some bread. He loves bread. Let's eat bread. It's weird. Is the right, Taco? You eat the bread. So eat the bread. The bread. But man, yeah. Pineapple pizza. Pineapple pizza. No. I got people who do that. No, it's an abomination. It's an abomination. Stop it. Just stop it. What's next? Bananas, strawberries. I mean, I don't got no problem with that. You know what I mean? To each your own. You like what you like to eat? I mean, my brother likes black caviar on his freaking pizza. I find that disgusting, but yeah, he likes it. But to each his own. To each his own. What you like is what you like at the end of the day. I ain't about it. Ain't against it. But I do know that my friend likes the pineapples. I'm like, ugh. Like, how does that work? Yeah, the pineapple. I think we got the whole thing. We did the whole thing. We got it done. Yeah. Yeah. That's my color, right? Let's see. Send your pictures to good old Captain Noah. What's I looking for a minute? Yeah. I wonder if Burger King is going to bring back out the Homer Burger. They brought out the Homer Burger for the Simpson movie. Man, that thing was humongous. I think it was the size of like a small pan pizza. They were huge. I wonder if they bring those things back out again. Oh yeah, and the freaking black burger. Why? Why did they get rid of that? That was the dumbest thing they ever did. I swear. That black burger was freaking the truth. That's what it was so good. They soaked the bun and A1 steak sauce. It was freaking amazing. And now they don't have it anymore. And the day I went in to get it is the last day that they were doing it. I was like, I was so mad. But I gotta keep on top of that stuff. Alright, let me see. I'm good on this because I've been working on this side all day long, all day long, all day long. I think best Easter. When I was a kid, we didn't do the whole Easter buy sneakers and clothes on. So we wore suits, went to church, praise the Lord, went home, stripped off all our clothes. Well, no, we didn't strip off our clothes. We put our clothes away because we got our butt kicked for that one. Put our stuff away, and then go downstairs and we could have our Easter candy. Well, first we would get up in the morning, we can have the Easter candy. And, my mom would basically make breakfast first because you want to eat some of that candy, you know what I mean? We had the big old baskets with the giant, solid 5-pound bunnies, when the Easter candy was legit. When they had the big old huge coconut and peanut butter and, eggs. With peanut butter and jelly eggs, we had those too. That's when you got, Easter candy was like the real deal when I was coming up. But anyway, so we come downstairs. We can have a little bit of it, not a lot. And then my mom would make us breakfast, which I hated because, I didn't want to get breakfast. She would make us eggs and toast and stuff like that. We weren't allowed to have cereal because why give us something sweet when we're going to eat something sweet anyway? So she would just give us eggs, toast, and pancakes and stuff like that. So when we get done eating, we're staring at these baskets. And then when we clear off the table and everything's all washed up, we can sit down and enjoy our baskets. And it was time for church and get dressed and everything. We tried to sneak candy into the church. My mom wasn't having that. No, she wasn't. Yep. I miss those days. Those are the good days. Freaking 5-pound solid rabbit. You smacked your brother with that, he was not getting back up. Now the day to make him hollow. But I remember one year we had this amazing year, man. We had this amazing year. My mom was having some problems with financial wise, and she didn't think she was going to be able to get us anything for Easter. No Easter candy, nothing at all, period. My mom always had faith in God. God always made sure she had what she needed. She raised 10 kids, majority by herself. And something came through and she ended up getting the money. So she went and bought all this stuff, but she had already talked to her mother already and told her that she wasn't going to have the money to get the kids anything for Easter. And but my grandmother went out and bought all this stuff. Oh my goodness, my grandmother went out and bought all this stuff for us. But we didn't realize she bought it. She didn't say anything to my mother. So my mother, something came through and some money. She got some money, and she went in. She bought all that stuff. So we had all this Easter candy there. My mother bought for us. But then the door rang, and my grandmother was there, and she bought us all these big baskets of candy. We had like double the bunnies, double everything. Man, I'm a sugarholic. Man, my mother had to do everything to keep me from getting that candy, man. Good gracious, that was the most candy I ever had in a long time. That and the incident where I remember going to the store to pick up some penny candy. That's way back, some penny candy. And the woman was having an argument with her boyfriend. I was real young. And I was asking for these candies called dollars. They're like these red gummy little candies. And she brought out the container and she was giving me the candy. She gave me 20 and I only wanted 10. And she was arguing with him and she was so mad. She said, you know what? Take the whole thing. And she opened up this bag. She dumped the entire container in my bag. And I walked out the door and I gave it to her. She's like, no, I don't care. So basically she was dating the owner who owned this candy store or whatever you want to call it, but they had penny candy in there. And they were having this argument. But through her anger, she went and dumped an entire container. It was 5 pounds of candy in that thing for a kid that was probably about, I think I was about 6 or 7 at the time, maybe. I don't know, probably 6 or 7, I don't know. But yeah, I was crazy. I was like, I couldn't believe that. Like, my mom was like, what? Nope, yeah. That mess, man. It's funny because when people are upset and angry, they really don't care at one point. They just don't. I'll tell you something real quick before I get out of here real quick. I remember a guy was talking about a story about a guy who basically, a real big guy, got on one of those children toys in front of the supermarket and started rocking back and forth, and the spring popped out and this guy went face first into the cement and broke his face. So anyway, he decided he was going to sue the supermarket, and as they were in there trying to decide to give this guy all this money, one of the guys wasn't budging. He was like, no, I'm not giving him the money because he's a grown man. He jumped on his kid's toy and he got everything he deserved. So they're gridlocked on giving this guy this money. So what happened was right around lunchtime popped up and this guy asked for blood sausages, right? So what happened was they screwed up his orders. They gave him cheese fries. This guy was so ticked off that he wanted them blood sausages so badly that he said when it came time to vote, the guy was like, give him whatever the freak he wants because he wanted to get the freak out of there so he can get his blood sausages. That guy walked off with, I think it was like $10 or $15 million. Because someone screwed up on an order for blood sausages. That's how he got that money. It's crazy. That's how he got the money. About $10 to $15 million. Because one person went and banned because he thought he was an idiot for getting on it to begin with. But he had his mind on these freaking blood sausages. And when they brought him back them cold fries, he freaking snapped. And all he wanted was what he ordered at the end of the day. I couldn't care less what you give him. I want my blood sausage. Something that would probably cost him about $6, $7. He gave somebody $15 million. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Yeah, that triggered him. Guy got $15 million due to the fact that somebody did not get their orders screwed up, and that's how he got rich. Wow, world's a crazy place, ain't it? Well, people, I gotta go. I got things I gotta take care of. How many hours did I put into this? Oh, not bad. Only close to 3 hours. Last time it was like almost 10 hours we're in this. I'll be on here longer, but I got some stuff I gotta take care of that's very important downtown. I'm still gotta go back over and look at that window display. See how we're gonna size it up, where we're gonna put the projectors at to get all that stuff and get that ready to go for the summer. I hope you enjoyed our little talk here, and be safe out there, and God bless. Thank you for stopping by.